Hey there, Carol. I wanted to let you know that I'll be going to Judy's school observation day next week. My brother just called me a little bit ago and asked if I could go in your place.
What? He's sending some ugly girl like you to go in my place?
Whatever, that's fine. But be sure to tell all the parents there that you are not Judy's mother, okay? Let me remind you that I'm doing you the favor of going to Judy's school because neither you nor my brother can make it. Most people typically say thank you when someone does them a favor, not insult their appearance.
Okay, thank you. There, I said it.
My brother said that he had work that he couldn't get out of that day. Can I ask why you can't go?
I'm going to a friend's wedding.
A wedding? This must be a very long wedding if it's going to keep you from being able to go to Judy's school in the morning.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing at all. It's just, well, you never attended any of Judy's school events. The track and field day, her school play, the choir concert. You missed every single one of them. And either my brother has to go alone, or he calls me up and asks me to come along with him.
Yeah, and how is that my fault? It just so happens that I have plans every time Judy has a school event. It's a total coincidence.
Don't you think that you could cancel your plans and give Judy priority once in a while? I understand that you're busy, but I think it's making Judy sad that you're never at any of these events. But all the other mothers are.
Get off my back. You're single and have nothing but free time on your hands, but I actually have stuff to do.
She's especially sad this time, Carol. She was really, really hoping that you would come. You should have seen the look on her face when she learned you weren't coming.
You are so full of it. Judy's a reasonable girl. She's not going to throw a hissy fit just because I'm not going to some stupid school event.
I think she's just good at hiding how she really feels, especially from you. And I don't think it's very healthy for her to have to keep on bottling her emotions up inside like this. Eventually, all that pent-up frustration and sadness is going to burst. Hi, Carol. I just got back from Judy's school.
How was it? I bet everyone was laughing their heads off at you the whole time. Like, whoa, I'd hate to be the kid that has to live with that thing for a mom.
And just think about poor Judy when she saw you walk into the classroom. Did she start crying right away, or did it take a few minutes? You're partially right. A ton of people were laughing at you.
Huh? Why would they be laughing at me?
More precisely, about half of the room was snickering at you, and another third or so was just shaking their heads in disgust. The rest were clearly furious at you. I could tell from the looks on their faces.
What are you talking about? Everyone was talking about me at school?
Yep.
Why? Why would they be laughing or angry at me when I wasn't even there? You're lying, aren't you? They were laughing at you, right?
No, they were definitely talking about you.
Okay, so tell me why.
It's all because of the topic of the class today. The kids were giving presentations about the projects they made in art class.
Oh my God, I dodged a bullet there. Having to listen to a bunch of snotty kids drone on about their stupid art projects? I'd rather throw myself off the roof of the school.
The projects were actually pretty incredible. It was a completely free project, so the kids were able to make anything they felt like. Judy made a picture book.
A picture book? Why did she make a picture book?
Well, Judy loves drawing and loves books, so she decided that she would put those two interests together and make a picture book. Wait, didn't you know that she likes to draw? Do you actually know anything about what Judy likes? Forget what she likes. Do you know anything about your own daughter? Like, at all?
Of course I know what she likes. I just thought it was weird that she made a picture book for an art project, that's all. Like, don't kids usually just draw pictures or make a sculpture out of popsicle sticks for art class?
Judy is a very talented girl, Carol. You really should have seen her picture book. It was fantastic.
So what does this picture book have to do with me?
The title was Who's with Mommy? It was quite an interesting story.
That's a weird title.
Wait until you hear the story. It's about a little girl who sees her mother together with a man she doesn't know. It doesn't really have a resolution or ending. It's just a bunch of scenes where the narrator sees her mom together with a strange man and talks about how she feels during each scene.
That's it? That's not a story. She's been working on this project in school for months and she didn't even write a proper ending?
Well, she is still just a child, so you'll have to excuse her for not having the skills of a professional author or illustrator. But the most interesting thing about that picture book was what inspired Judy to write it. You see, Judy wrote that picture book based on her own real experiences.
Huh?
So, like I said, the main character of the story is a girl who keeps seeing her mom together with a strange man. And every time she sees them together, the two are lying down on the bed together, naked. Oh, and I think this goes without saying, but the man in the story is not the girl's father.
Hey, wait a second.
I'll spare you the trouble of thinking and spell it out for you. Judy wrote this book about catching you having an affair. Judy really is an exceptional girl. The pictures were incredibly realistic, and the main character's inner dialogue felt so raw and genuine. She went over all the finest details of each scene of the book. The time of day, the weather, the music playing in the background, everything.
Are you being serious right now? Is that actually what Judy wrote in her book?
The other kids in the room seemed like they weren't really sure what was going on. But let me assure you, every single one of the adults knew exactly what she was trying to say, including me.
Oh no. Judy really read that book in front of the whole class and all the other parents?
Yep.
And you just stood there and let it happen? Why didn't you stop her? Oh my God, this is awful. I'm never going to be able to show my face around that school again. Do you realize what this is going to do to my reputation?
The teacher did try to cut her off early and move on to the next student, but it didn't work. She just kept right on going. Judy's words were, "Please, I want to read to the end of my story." Since Judy seemed so determined to finish her presentation, I stepped in and asked the teacher to let her continue.
You did what? You're insane. You're out of your mind, both you and Judy. You've humiliated me. I'll never hear the end of this. What is wrong with Judy writing a book like that? Where did I go wrong in raising that stinking little brat?
What did we do to you? This is all your own doing. Judy did nothing wrong by making that picture book, and I did nothing wrong getting the teacher to let her finish it. You're the one who has quite possibly scarred poor Judy for life. Can you imagine how she must have felt catching you having an affair?
I'm not having an affair, you moron. What is the matter with all of you? Who takes the words of some dumb child so seriously? She's making it all up. It never happened.
Is that so? I don't know. Her drawings and narrations were very, very detailed. I'd say the most likely explanation is that it's all things that she saw with her own eyes and heard with her own ears. There's no other way she could have made something that detailed.
I told you I am not having an affair. It's all lies. She made it up.
Well, leaving that aside for now, just know that her picture book was absolutely wonderful. I'll tell my brother all about it too. I think he'll be quite surprised, wouldn't you? In more ways than one.
Wait! We can't let my husband know about something as embarrassing as this. It would be awful for me and him too. He's better off not knowing, wouldn't you say? How about we keep what happened today as our little secret?
Did you actually think I would agree to hide this from my brother? I'm telling him about everything as soon as possible. Plus, he explicitly asked me to tell him all about what happened at the school observation today. That was the whole reason I went.
You don't have to tell him everything, do you? You can, leave out a few minor details. He's a busy guy too, so he doesn't have the time to listen to all the boring stuff that happened during that class. You don't need to worry about a thing. I'll give him a report for you. I'll tell him everything he needs to know.
I'm not going to lie for you, Carol. I'm going to give him a full report personally as soon as I possibly can. As a matter of fact, I think he'd love to have Judy present her picture book to him once he gets home from work tonight.
Don't you dare! Where are my husband and daughter? I can't find them anywhere. Are they with you?
Oh, hello again, Carol. Did you just get home? Typically, when you go out for the day, you don't come home until very late at night. What brought you home so early today? Were you perhaps worried about what would happen when you got there?
I have been trying to get a hold of my husband all day, but he's not returning any of my messages, so I hurried home. You told him about Judy's picture book, didn't you?
Of course I did.
No! You can't keep your big mouth shut, can you?
My brother took Judy to our parents' house.
Why?
It's for Judy's protection. He didn't want her to have to witness the conversation that you're going to have very, very soon. He was getting her out of the house.
What conversation?
The conversation about your affair. What else could I possibly be talking about? After everything that went down today, are you really going to sit there and pretend that you have no idea why this is happening?
Why are you still going on about me having an affair? Give it up already.
You were cheating on my brother, weren't you, Carol? How about that wedding you were going to today? Was that all just a cover for you to see your boyfriend? Did you have a nice time together?
I'm not lying. I really did go to a wedding.
Okay, well then how about you send me a picture of the wedding? I'm sure you took at least one picture of the venue, decorations, food, maybe a selfie with your friend, the bride.
I didn't take any.
Really? Not even one single picture? Are you serious? As active on Instagram as you are, I refuse to believe that you didn't even take one picture to brag to your followers about.
My phone's hard drive was full. I couldn't take any more pictures. That's why I don't have any.
I see. Then give me the name of another guest at the party. Actually, I have a better idea. Give me the names of the new couple. That should be easy to do, right? And it would prove that you really did go to the wedding.
Why should I? I don't have to prove anything to you. Besides, I don't want to bother the bride and groom on their wedding night.
You are really determined not to tell me anything at all about this wedding you went to. Is that because there really wasn't a wedding at all?
No, there was a wedding and it was really nice.
You could give me the name and phone number of the wedding venue if you're concerned about the bride and groom's privacy. Call up the venue and ask if there was a wedding for a couple with the same name today. Anything at all will be fine. Just give me any piece of information I can use to verify that you were at a wedding today.
Fine, I give up.
You're right, there was no wedding today. I was lying. I was busy with other stuff. Other stuff? I'm not gonna let you get away with weasel words, Carol. You went to see your boyfriend today, didn't you?
Yes.
And where did the two of you go together? His place or yours?
Neither. We went to an amusement park.
And how long have you been seeing each other?
About 2 years, I think.
This isn't the first time you've skipped one of Judy's school events to see him, isn't it? Have you done this before?
Yeah, a couple of times.
Unreal. For the longest time, I was completely baffled as to why you never went to any of Judy's school events. At first, I just thought you were an uncaring, uninterested, unaffectionate mother, but now I see that you're actually somehow worse than that.
This doesn't have anything to do with you. This is between me and my husband.
Now that all of this is out in the open, I want you to know that I never liked you, not for 1 second. I tolerated you because you were my brother's wife and my niece's mother. But that is all over as of today. I have an announcement to make. My brother contacted your parents a little bit ago.
What? He called my parents?
It was only a matter of time, really. It's looking more and more like a divorce is coming by the second.
But why would he call my parents?
It looks like they're going to come by our parents' house in the near future. My brother said he wanted to have a discussion about things between both families.
I still don't get it. Why would he do that? And why isn't he talking to me about any of this?
Do you honestly think that your opinion matters to anyone at this point? I shouldn't have to remind you that everything that's happening right now is 100% your fault.
But he's not answering any of my texts or calls. Doesn't he want to hear my side of the story? I'm his wife.
Calm down, Carol. You'll get your chance. You'll have plenty of time to give him your excuses once he gets back to your house.
I don't want to talk to him in person. That's why I'm trying to get him to talk to me on the phone.
What are you afraid of, Carol? Are you trying to avoid getting called out for what you did?
Duh! If he took Judy all the way to your parents' house, he's probably really gonna let me have it.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty safe assumption to make. But I think what's going to be the absolute worst for you is when your parents come over to talk with him and my parents.
Yeah, I realize that.
No, I don't think you realize anything.
What do you mean?
My brother is going to show Judy's picture book to your parents.
What?
Man, just think about how they're going to react when they hear that Judy presented that book to the whole class and all the parents. The shame and disappointment might give them both heart attacks.
No. That cannot happen. You have to put a stop to this.
Why? Judy put a lot of work into that book, and she's very proud of it too. I think it's only fair to show it to her grandparents, don't you?
Are you joking? You can't let them see that.
Of course I can. As a matter of fact, I'm going to my parents' house for that meeting too. Someone's going to have to look after Judy while the adults are having their conversation.
What am I gonna do? I can't let my parents see that picture book. I would die of embarrassment. I've got it. You have to burn that book.
Why should I?
You're the only one who can. You have to find that book before your brother shows it to my parents and burn it. It should be easy.
You still haven't answered the question. Why should I burn Judy's picture book for you?
To protect my good name. Please, I am begging you. At this rate, my family's going to be torn to shreds, and my elderly parents are going to be totally humiliated.
You're not worried about them. You're worried about my brother suing you for infidelity. That, and since he's going to seek full custody of Judy, you're going to have to pay him child support.
I don't want to get a divorce. What am I going to do without my husband? How am I going to get by? Where am I going to live?
If you were so concerned about losing your husband, why would you go and do something as stupid as having an affair? You knew the risks going into it.
Well, I mean, I was bored. I wanted a little excitement in my life. I wasn't planning on getting serious about it at all when it first started.
Well, you certainly got your wish then, didn't you? I bet this is the most excitement you've ever had in your life. Anyway, there's not a single reason why I should stick my neck out to help you. You've never done anything for me that would merit me doing something to get you out of the massive mess you've made for yourself.
How can you be so cold to me? We're sisters, aren't we? Sisters-in-law, but still sisters. You've got to help me.
I don't need any sister who would call me ugly. You've treated me with nothing but scorn for as long as I've known you. And now, after all of that, you want me to betray my own brother and help you cover up your affair from your parents?
I'm sorry about everything. I'm sorry for calling you ugly. It was all just a joke. I was just teasing you, that's all.
Your idea of a joke is telling me that Judy would cry from embarrassment if I came to her school observation day?
Yes, that was all one long, elaborate joke. I don't really think you're ugly. It was irony. You're actually really beautiful. So I thought it would be hilarious if I called you ugly because you're not ugly. Get it? Funny, right?
I see. Irony. So you actually think I'm beautiful then? I'd like to hear it directly from your mouth. Tell me about how beautiful I am.
You're gorgeous. Your clothes are so stylish. Your makeup is perfect, and your hair, it's so silky and shiny. I am super jealous of your looks.
Is that so?
Yes, you're beautiful. So listen, if you do me a little favor and burn that picture book for me, I will do anything you ask me to do.
Anything? That's pretty tempting.
I will work to repay you for as long as I live. I will never forget your kindness. And I'll never be a jerk to you or call you ugly ever again.
As tempting as your offer is, I still couldn't bring myself to destroy the book that Judy worked so hard to make. I think I'd like her to be able to show her grandparents the product of her hard work, too. I think they'll also be impressed that their granddaughter turned out to be such an impressive girl despite her mother being an amoral harlot. Carol's parents came by my parents' house a few days after that. And the day before that, I heard a knock at my door, and who should show up but the star of the show herself, Carol. I was wondering what in the world she could possibly want at this point, but she got right down on her knees and started begging me to burn Judy's picture book. Unfortunately for her, the book was already in my brother's possession, so it was already too late for her to do anything about it. After the meeting, Carol and her parents walked out of the room with an absolutely horrendous look on their faces. Carol's father grabbed her by the hair, forced her down on her knees, and told her to confess to every single thing she did to betray my brother and apologize. Shortly after that, my brother divorced Carol. Due to her affair, Carol was left penniless after the divorce, and her parents disowned her and told her never to contact them again. Since her story has made its way around town, I doubt Carol will be able to stay around here for much longer. She'll have to move somewhere else. Judy is the same happy little girl as she always was, and still goes to school with a smile on her face. It seems like the other parents felt so bad for Judy after she made her presentation in class that day that they refrained from gossiping about Carol. They also felt sorry for my brother too, obviously, so they've never brought it up to him at all. I've also taken on a bigger role in my niece's life than I did before. Oh, and as for that picture book, I don't think they're ever going to throw it away. I asked my brother what he did with it, and he told me that he put it in a box way in the back of his closet.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Maria, can I talk to you for a moment? My son isn't replying to my messages. Has he told you anything? Is he home? It's getting late in the night. Good evening. How are you? It's been a while since we met. My husband is taking a bath right now. All right, I guess that's why he's not replying to my messages and calls. Tell him to call me back when he gets out. Of course. By the way, it's already been 2 years since you two got married. How's your cafe going? Any plans for your future? Thanks for checking on me. Fortunately, my business is going pretty well. Many people come to eat at my cafe. Every day is a busy day. We've got a lot of regular customers, and we're also coming up with ways to attract new customers as well. The seats are full most of the time. What? I'm not asking if your business is going well or not. I'm asking you when you're planning to close down your restaurant. I don't plan to close down. We're doing really great. There's no reason to close down. And many people visit us, feeling excited to taste our menu. We put a lot of effort in coming up with new seasonal menus, and they're one of the most popular dishes at our cafe. Even so, I don't see why you won't close down. Are you aware of your age? You're 32. That's about a third of your life. How about you become a housewife and support your husband? You're too old to pursue your hobby. I think it's about time to focus on your housework. It's not a hobby. I do enjoy working at my cafe, but it's a business. I'm a cafe owner. I manage the cafe as my job. But isn't it hard when both of you work? My son has a job, and you also insist that you have a job as a cafe owner. I doubt you have enough time to complete the housework at home. My husband is very cooperative. We work together to do things around the house. We're managing fine, so I don't think you have to worry about us. We're dividing our roles, and we each have different chores to complete. I think we're working very efficiently. Don't you understand? I'm telling you not to make my son do housework. He is tired from a long day of work. I'm so sorry for him. He shouldn't have to do anything at home. But that applies to me, too. I also have a job, and I feel tired after a day of work. We try to support each other as much as we can. My son makes enough money to support both of you. I don't see why you have to work outside, too. I wouldn't call that efficient. You might think you have a successful business, but it's not easy to manage a cafe on your own for a long period of time. Your business would face a downfall soon enough. Have you thought of what you would do when you get pregnant? You'll have to close down. You can't work when you're pregnant. It's better if you can just become a housewife to look after your children at home. No, I won't close down. I already have plans for that. I'll work for as long as I can, and I'll ask my co-owner, who's in charge of the cooking, to cover for my responsibilities for some time while I take my maternity leave. Plus, my friends from vocational school have my back. They're willing to help me whenever I'm short of hands. Even so, you never know what would happen in the future. I bet you don't serve any decent food at your cafe. Probably just expensive with a mediocre taste. People will soon be tired of the menu and would stop visiting your cafe. I advise you to start facing the reality. What if you had to borrow money in the future to support your business? That's going to be awful. I know the risks as a business owner, so I'm trying my best to make my business successful. I try to plan ahead. Thanks for your advice, though. It reminds me of how risky it can be. And what are your plans for giving birth? When are you planning to get a baby? You're getting older. You have to start preparing now, or it would be too late. What would you do if you can't get pregnant because of your age? Having a baby is a blessing. It's not something we can control. Think about your age. The time limit is just ahead of you. You'll soon be too old to get pregnant. It's probably because you're busy working at the cafe. I bet you don't make enough time to spend with my son. I do make time to spend with my husband, and I don't think that I'm old yet. We don't have to rush, in my opinion.
Then why are you still not pregnant after being married for 2 years? I can't believe it.
We are taking our time and doing things at our own pace.
I'm very worried about my son's future. You're making me very worried because you're taking things too slowly.
I'm sorry, but we made our future plans as a couple. After having some discussions with my husband, we know what we're doing. I hope you can leave us alone and respect our decisions. We're compromising and finding our own style as a couple.
I guess there's no point in telling you anything. You don't seem to listen to me at all. Remember, I've been living longer than you and know what's best to do in life.
I do respect your advice and opinions as well. Thanks for being considerate.
No need to flatter me like that. I know you don't feel that way. I really don't understand why my son married a stubborn girl like you. It gives me a headache.
I'm sorry if I'm the reason for your headache.
If you're sorry, how about you do what I tell you? You'll soon regret not listening to me. I'm warning you. Maria, do you have some time now? Are you still working?
No, I just finished preparing for tomorrow. I have some time now.
Oh, I see. I didn't know your cafe closed this early.
We don't serve dinner at my cafe, so we close pretty early. By the way, your friend visited my cafe today. She was really nice.
Yes, I know that. That's why I texted you. I wanted to make sure. I hope you weren't rude to her.
I don't think I was. She told me she loved our menu. I was really glad to hear that. And she even promised to visit again. She was a very sweet person.
I see.
Did she complain about anything? I hope she wasn't just lying to make me feel good.
No, she didn't say much. She just told me she enjoyed the food. But she's the type to think all of the food she tasted was good. So don't be too happy about her advice. She would still say it was delicious even if it was awful.
I'm just glad she had a good experience at the cafe. She left with a smile, and that's what I hope for most. And she tried our most popular menu. I'm pretty confident that she liked it.
But actually, she told me one thing that made me feel concerned. She told me that your co-owner was a man. I never knew that.
Yes, I work with my friend who was my junior at the restaurant I used to work for. I might not have told you that before. He dreams of having his own restaurant one day, so he's learning some necessary skills as he works for my cafe.
I don't know if that's a good thing or not, to be honest. You spend time with him a lot, and you two are the only ones working at the cafe with no other employees. He's a man, you know. Don't tell me you're cheating on my son.
Excuse me? What are you talking about? You can't be serious. He's just my coworker. There's nothing more than that. It's no big deal. You can't just be suspicious of all the men I meet at work.
But I don't know. You do everything together at work, right? Something looks suspicious here.
We're serious about our job. We're too busy working to think about having an affair. You know that I'm married to my husband. I love him from the bottom of my heart. And just to make things clear, my coworker is also dating someone else. There's no way we're having an affair.
Some people still decide to flirt even when they're seeing someone, so I don't think that would prove your innocence.
Do I look like I'm that kind of person to you? I'll never do that, and he'll never do that as well. I feel like you're looking down on us as people who would easily cheat on their partners. Our only goal is to serve good food and make our customers happy. We're taking this business very seriously. And we also have other employees at the cafe who work as waiters. We're rarely alone in the cafe. There's nothing to be suspicious about. I respect him as a coworker, and he respects me as the owner of the cafe. There's nothing more to our relationship.
I doubt it. From my perspective, it seemed like you didn't want to close down because you'll have to end things with him. You'll lose your opportunity to spend time with your secret lover. I didn't understand why you didn't want to close down, but now everything makes sense.
Please stop thinking that way. It's not true, and it's rude to both of us.
Oh, are you angry because I found out your little secret?
No. My husband also knows that I work with him. He trusts me and knows how important he is to me as my coworker. He's actually visited our house several times. We sometimes invite him over to have dinner with us.
What did you just say? You invited him over?
Yes, I invited him to come visit me and my husband for dinner. My husband is also close to him, and we're all really good friends. There's really nothing going on between us. I don't understand why you're so worried about me having an affair with him.
Have you ever thought about how my son might be feeling about you and your coworker?
My husband is very supportive about it.
Oh, so my son approves of you having an affair with another man. I guess I won't have to wait long until you get a divorce with my son.
What? I meant that he's supportive about my business. He understands that I respect my coworker as my business partner.
But if you're so caught up in your job, I bet my son will soon get tired of you. He would want a better wife who would care for him more as a supportive housewife. You're starting to feel like you're better than him as a successful business owner, no? I'm telling you, you'll soon realize what a large mistake you made for not caring about the household enough.
I care about my family a lot. My husband means a lot to me. I value both my job and my family. I care for both.
But compared to a housewife, you aren't doing enough, and I know you're aware of that.
Yes, I'm aware of that, but we have our own ways of supporting each other as partners. We don't have to fit into the stereotypes.
Let's say you were a professional chef at one of the best restaurants in the country. I would keep my mouth shut if you had such a prestigious career. But you're just a normal cafe owner who does business as a hobby. I don't want you to ruin my son's life just because you enjoy being a cafe owner.
I'm taking my business very seriously. Can I ask a favor? Could you please try visiting my cafe once? We don't serve those ready-made meals at our cafe. We're very serious about our menu and take a lot of time to plan, cook, and serve. You would understand how much effort we put into this business if you can come visit us at the cafe.
Do you think I have enough time for that? Also, I only eat high-quality food. I don't consume any of those fast foods. I would never be satisfied with your menu. There's no need for me to taste it.
Okay, my cafe has a great reputation, so I am confident you would have a good experience visiting my cafe.
Let me make this clear. I don't approve of you having a job when my son already makes enough money to support both of you. I can't accept how you make my son do housework after he comes home from a long day of work. I don't think someone like you who brings home trouble deserves to be with my son. I hope you realize how much your hobby affects the people around you negatively. Do you know how much of a burden you are to my son? It would be ideal if you can just break up with my son. Maria, have you opened your cafe yet? It's still early in the morning.
It's not open yet. We're still preparing for our lunch menu.
I have a favor to ask you. Can I talk to you for a moment?
Of course. I would be willing to help if the favor is within my capabilities.
You're the only one who's capable of doing so. You're the only one I can ask. My friend's birthday is coming up, so I'm planning to have a birthday party for her.
Well, that's very sweet of you.
Right? I know. And I thought I might do it at your cafe. Is it possible to reserve the whole cafe for the party?
Really? Are you sure you want to have the party at my cafe?
Yes. Do you remember the friend of mine who visited your cafe the other day? She was the one who suggested that your cafe might be the best place to hold the party.
I see. Well, I'm glad she thought that way.
So, I want to make a reservation for next Thursday. There will be about 30 of us. How about I reserve the whole cafe for 3 hours? Is that possible?
30 people? Let me check. Do you have any preferences about what you would want to be served at the party? I'll take note if you have anything in particular that you want us to serve.
Let me think. Maybe a simple lunch course would be nice. I would prefer fish as the main dish rather than meat. It would be great if the price is under $50 for one person. Do you think you can do that?
Okay, let me write that down. but if you're aiming for a simple lunch course, you might want to drop the price down a bit more.
Don't worry, we grandmas have a lot of money. When are we supposed to spend all the money we saved while we were still young?
Okay, if you insist so.
I hope you can check with me after you decide on the menu. Text me again after you finalize what you would be serving at the party. I just want to make sure it aligns with what I asked you.
Of course. It's a great opportunity for me to prove that I'm taking this business very seriously. I'll do my very best, so please look forward to it.
Yes, I'm actually excited to try your food. Your cafe has a pretty good reputation in the neighborhood, so your menu must be great. I've heard that your cafe was published in a magazine the other day. How wonderful. If your cafe is so good that it was published in a magazine, I thought I might give it a taste as well.
Thank you. I'm glad you changed your mind. I'll try my best to meet your expectations and definitely surprise you and your friends with some great food.
Maria, good morning. I assume you're starting to get ready for the party?
Yes, that's right.
Actually, there's something I want to apologize to you about. Can I talk to you for a moment? I would like to cancel today's reservation.
What?
Unfortunately, the friend who I planned the birthday party for told me that she wouldn't be able to come. Apparently, she caught a cold. I have no other choice than to cancel. I never expected her to get sick on her birthday. I'm sorry to ruin your plans today. I bet all the ingredients you were prepared to serve 30 people would go to waste. You prepared to hold a party at your cafe today. Now that I canceled the reservation, it must be a huge loss for your cafe.
No, it's okay. I haven't done anything to prepare for it, so it's all right.
What? You haven't been preparing for my reservation today?
Yes, that's right.
Didn't I tell you that I wanted to reserve the whole cafe today? I asked you to prepare a lunch course for 30 people.
Yes, you did tell me that. But I knew that you wouldn't be having the birthday party at my cafe, so I didn't prepare for it. I know that you're planning to go see a play today at the theater. I assume that's correct?
Why do you know about my plans?
I heard about it from your friend.
Who?
Don't you remember that friend of yours who visited my cafe a while ago? She really seemed to love my cafe, and she's now a regular customer. She visits almost every day. I'm very thankful for her support.
Really? I never knew.
Yes, she's a very sweet person. And do you remember what you told me about her? You said that she was the one who gave you advice about holding the birthday party at my cafe. So I figured I should thank her for that, but then she didn't understand what I was talking about, and I realized that you were lying to me.
What do you mean? How do you know it's a lie? Don't blame me. You can't be sure that everything is a lie. I actually didn't invite her to the party, so she wouldn't know.
Oh, really? But you did cancel today's reservation, so all ended well. Lucky me.
Nothing is well. What would you have done if I didn't cancel today's reservation? I bet you didn't prepare for today's reservation on purpose so that you could embarrass me in front of my friends. Do you know how evil you are?
I don't care what you think about me. You're banned from my cafe.
What did you just tell me?
Your friends offered to help me do some research about you. Thanks to their help, I found out the truth.
Research? For what? What truth did you find out?
About whether the birthday party was actually planned or not. I found out that you were bragging to your friends about getting a ticket for the popular play scheduled today. So I assumed that you pretended to make a reservation just to make me suffer.
No, why would I ever do that?
Then do you have proof? Can you prove your innocence? I would believe you if you can show me the invitations you sent to your friends for the birthday party. And I would apologize to you for not preparing for today's reservation.
I don't have them with me anymore. I can't show them now.
Then I guess you don't deserve my apology.
Maria, what's with your attitude? I'm your mother-in-law. You ignored your mother-in-law's reservation, and you don't seem to regret anything. Do you even have common sense?
I think you're the one without common sense. You're the one who's being unbelievable. I had some discussions about what to do in the future with your son. And we came to the decision that it might be best if we break relations with you. My husband would go see you in person to talk to you about this, so I hope you can have a talk with him directly. It's no big deal breaking relations with you. I never approved of you to be my daughter-in-law anyways. I don't really mind. It's not just me. My husband would also be breaking relations with you. What? Why would my son ever do that to me? He's had enough of your immature actions and came to the decision of breaking relations with you. He told me that he's been receiving countless messages from you telling him to get a divorce from me. He showed me the overwhelming amount of messages. It was creepy, actually. And he said you even called him during his work hours to pressure him about getting a divorce with me. You're disturbing him while working. How can you do that to your son? I didn't disturb him. It was just a casual talk between son and mother. It's not a big deal. But my husband was annoyed and exhausted from having to reply to your messages and calls. And I know you've been spreading bad rumors about me to the people around you. You are ruining my reputation, and that's a crime. If you continue doing so, we plan to hire a lawyer to deal with the case. We can't let this go on any longer. A lawyer? I think you're going overboard. It's unnecessary. You spread rumors about me cheating on my husband. When did I ever do that? Didn't I explain to you in detail the other day? I don't think I'm overreacting. I'm just trying to take the necessary steps. Okay. I won't do that anymore. Is that enough for you? Yes, don't do that ever again. And we'll break relations with you so that we'll never see each other again. What? You're still angry? I just apologized to you. Both my husband and I would never forgive you for what you did. We hope we'll never see you again. Why are you so angry? What's the big deal? It's all because of you. How about you reflect on your actions for the past few years? And one of your friends' husbands owns a restaurant like me. You should know how lethal it is to cancel a reservation on the actual day. You should know better than this. All your friends seemed surprised to hear about what you were planning to do at my cafe. Hey, how many people know about this? About how I planned to cancel the reservation on purpose? Why would I know? I don't know how many friends you have. But as far as I know, many of your friends plan not to get in touch with you ever again, finding out about what kind of person you really are. Maria, I'm so sorry. I promise not to do it ever again. Yes, I don't think you deserve a second chance. If you did the same thing again, I will take the necessary steps and seek help from the experts. How about we end it peacefully this time? Can you tell my friends that it was just a little fight between you and I? Don't make it sound like I'm the villain. You know, I can't just lose my friends. You should tell them directly. I don't think it's my responsibility. If they really consider you as their friend, they'll probably be willing to hear the story from your perspective. Only if you weren't so rude to them on a daily basis. I wish you good luck in trying to convince them. I'm about to lose not only my son, but my friends as well. Don't you feel sorry for me? Why would I? You did worse things to me, remember? And I think you deserve it. To be honest, it's all the result of your actions. Let me apologize, Maria, please. I'm very sorry. Please forgive me. If you forgive me, I know everyone else would also understand. Let me make things clear. It's not like everything would go back to normal if you apologize to me. Think about how much trouble you're causing to your surroundings. Do you know how much of a burden you are to your friends and family? Your mean and evil actions, inconsiderate of the people around you, they all came back to you. My husband had a talk with his mother, and they came to an agreement after a long discussion. My husband forbade her to come near our house and my cafe, and also banned her from contacting both me and my husband in any way. In case of an emergency, my husband's sister would help us communicate with her mother. I'm glad she respects our decision and is willing to help us out. If she ever broke the rule again, we will definitely take legal action and bring the case to court. She suffered from shock after her friends left her, and my husband decided to break relations with her. And apparently she now barely goes outside and never leaves the house. She used to love to brag and badmouth others behind their back, so I guess her problematic personality caused people to cut relations with her. She wasn't the best person to hang out with, obviously. I hope she got a taste of her own medicine and would change her personality for the better. Hopefully she reflects on her mistakes while she's at home. That would be what's best for her as well. After breaking relations with my mother-in-law, I've had a very busy but fulfilling life. My cafe is doing very well, and many customers visit on a daily basis. It's all thanks to the people around me who supported me during my hard times. I can't thank them enough. I will never forget what they did for me, and hopefully I get to return something to them as well. That's my goal for the future. I will live a happy life with my beloved husband and build a lovely family with him, spending the rest of our lives together as we support each other.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Bonnie, are you there? Is everything all right with you? Are you eating properly? Like, actually having a decent meal every day?
Hi, Lauren. Well, I'm all right as I can be. However, as for the food situation, I can't eat, but I don't have much of an appetite at the moment.
I get what you mean, but no matter what the situation's like, you've got to eat something at least. Just so you've got some energy to do things, especially now that you're carrying a child inside you. You need to feed the baby as well as yourself.
I guess you're right. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to make you so worried, Lauren.
It's okay. We can't help what's going on. It's really unfortunate. I never imagined anything like this could happen to this family.
Why did it have to be my husband that went through something like this? We were talking about having a big family together, and we were looking forward to so many things.
It really is such a shame that this has happened to us. My brother's health hasn't always been the best, but I didn't imagine that he'd pass away at such a young age.
What am I supposed to do without him now? He was my strength, and now he's gone. I never thought my husband would lose his life at a time like this. How am I supposed to do this pregnancy without him? And on top of that, he'll never meet his baby. I'm sure you can't help but feel anxious about the whole situation and having to raise a child on your own. Maybe once you're about to give birth to your child, you could go back to your hometown for help? Yeah, that was the original plan we discussed together. I plan to return home for the birth as planned.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm going to suggest something to you. Maybe you should move back in with your parents and live in their house.
It's not a bad suggestion, but I've got this house here. There wouldn't be much point in living with my parents.
But are you really going to live in the house and do everything all by yourself with a baby you need to take care of 24/7? Besides, the house will be way too big for just the two of you. It'll be too much to handle.
But still, this is like a keepsake of my husband. We made a lot of memories in this house, and I don't think I'm ready to give that up yet. This is my home. I finally got to have it after all the hard work that's been put towards it.
Of course, but you poor thing, though. Having to do this all by yourself? You'll probably have to go back to work after your maternity leave is over. You won't be able to work like you used to because of the baby. Even though you own such a lovely house, it costs money to maintain. You know that, right?
But if I rented a different place, it would cost me money every month, and there are more worries when it comes to renting. I don't want to have to deal with noise issues or having neighbors complaining about my baby crying in the middle of the night. This house is the one my husband and I decided to buy together, and it means a lot to me. I have a lot of memories here. I can't just leave it. I don't feel like I can give it up and sell it to someone else.
But who said anything about selling it to someone else, Bonnie? I'll take the house off your hands.
You would want the house? I don't understand why you'd want it for yourself, though.
Well, now that things have turned out like this, I think you should go back to your parents' house to get some help. It's really tough doing things on your own. You'd be completely alone. I will take on the responsibility of looking after the house. It's an important keepsake to my brother.
I'm really grateful for your concerns, Lauren, but I still don't feel like giving up the house. It's mine as well.
You do realize I'm thinking of you when I'm saying all these things, right? Owning a house is more difficult than you think, Bonnie. Do you know about taxes and that sort of thing?
My husband and I have an FC who always takes care of us. If anything happens, then I'll go to them for advice. It's fine.
FC? What's an FC? What do they do?
It's short for financial consultant. They help us out with our money and what we need to pay for.
Are you sure they're the right person to go to? You're not being scammed out of your money, are you?
I think it's fine, Lauren. They're a friend of mine. We became friends during our time at university. They've treated me well up until this point.
But I don't really understand that, though. But now that your husband's gone, they might take advantage of you and suck you into something you shouldn't be involved in. I think it'll be safer for you to stay with your parents because they can help with everything.
Even so, I still want to stay in my house. I'm capable of doing a lot of things on my own. It hasn't been that long since we moved into this place. I can't just part from all the memories of my husband that we made in this house yet.
Look, I am sick of you not taking my advice. You need to hurry up and leave that house.
Lauren, are you okay? What's going on here? Why are you pushing this so much?
Okay, Bonnie, I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't really want to, but I want to say you're so stubborn and never listen to me. I think it's all your fault that my brother is no longer with us.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you seriously blaming me for the death of my husband? You think it's my fault?
Haven't you been giving my brother a lot of grief recently? If you as his wife truly looked at how he was feeling, he wouldn't have gotten so sick. You should have noticed something was wrong with him because his body looked so thin and weak.
But when he left home in the morning, he looked the same as usual. I heard that he suddenly became ill at work. There was nothing that I could have done about his condition.
There must have been some sort of sign that you didn't see, Bonnie. If you can't even notice changes like that in your husband, then haven't you failed as a wife?
I'm sorry. He said that he felt fine, and I always kept a close eye on him and his physical condition.
I would rather not hear your apologies. Just give me my brother back. I don't even recognize you as his wife anymore. You did nothing to save him. You need to return home and never come back.
I understand that it's something that you're feeling right now. You're right in the sense that I should have kept a closer eye on him. Maybe I could have seen something that would have prevented him from dying, but I didn't. But that's besides the point. I can't let go of this house.
Why are you being so stubborn right now? After everything you've done to this family, how could you act like this?
A house is an important asset, Lauren. My child will suffer if I don't have this asset. I'll protect this house for the sake of my baby.
The house is also a part of my brother. Besides, my parents were the ones that paid for the deposit. You know that, right?
I do know that. There's a reason for them doing that.
Which means that this house truly isn't yours to stay in, especially if my parents helped you both out.
Lauren, my unborn child is also a keepsake of him. His blood will run through this child's veins. Are you going to take a home away from his child? My husband wouldn't want that happening to his unborn child.
Don't you dare use your unborn child as a shield. You're a complete coward. That child doesn't matter to me at all.
You don't care about it? Even though it's your brother's baby, your niece or nephew?
I've got no compassion for the child since it's also half of you as well. I want to see it disappear somewhere along with its mother.
So you want me to disappear so that you can have my house all to yourself? Is that it?
And what's so wrong with taking my brother's things? They should be given to his family, right?
I'm not giving you this house, Lauren. I'm going to protect my husband's things. I'm his family too, and I was his wife. I can't let you do this. So I found that some sort of oil was sprinkled at my front door. You didn't happen to do something like this, Lauren?
I haven't got a clue what you're talking about, Bonnie.
But it must have been you, since I know it was you who put graffiti on my walls the other day. It was super difficult to remove.
Like I said before, Bonnie, I've got no idea who targeted you like that.
Well, you seem to be the only one who wants to get rid of me. You're the one who wants me out of this house.
Is that what you think? Well, if you don't feel safe being there with all those things happening, shouldn't you leave? You better hurry along and go back to your parents' house, no? And give birth to your child there.
And then you intend to take over the house while I go back home, am I right?
That house is mine because he was my brother. I'll inherit all of my brother's things.
As you should know already, the house belongs to his spouse. That's me, Lauren.
You've got no rights when it comes to that house. You're the one who took my brother's life away from him.
You're still going on about that? I never knew that you were so devoted to your younger brother, Lauren. The love between siblings isn't really something witnessed by a lot of people. Yeah, but it's not like you or my husband interacted much. It's quite surprising how you're so desperate for my husband's belongings.
If you've got something that you want to say, Bonnie, why don't you just come out and say it?
Fine, I will. You act like you cared a lot about my husband, but all you really want is to steal my house, right?
What's that supposed to mean? Why would I need to steal what's rightfully mine?
This is where we're different, Lauren. I love my husband. I supported him when he was having a difficult time. I'll not give away anything to anyone what my husband and I have worked so hard to obtain. After my husband died, I lost the will to live, but I'll continue to fight to protect this house from your grasp.
You're going to fight me over this? Up until the other day, you were acting like such a delinquent by not doing as I say.
And I'll continue to be this way. As my due date approaches, I feel like I've gained a lot of strength and want to live for my baby. I've got to fight for what my baby deserves.
Oh, so you're just going to treat me like I'm the bad guy? You're the one that took my brother's life away.
Indeed, I take responsibility for not keeping an eye on his declining health. I really thought that he was okay, but I guess he wasn't. But the illness that killed my husband was acute. There was nothing anyone could have done to save him. The doctor said that it would have been difficult to predict his chances of living.
Don't you dare open up all that crap again. My brother's lifespan had been shortened dramatically because he married a woman like you.
A woman like me? What's that supposed to mean? Enlighten me with your thoughts about who I am.
You were hardly at home till you got pregnant, weren't you? You told people you were working, but really, you were playing around, no?
I wasn't doing any such thing. Are you really accusing me of something I didn't do? We were going to buy a house, so of course I was working hard to earn some money. I didn't have time to do anything else but work. How dare you accuse me of fooling around?
Well, I wonder how much of what you're saying is true. Is that child in your stomach even my brother's child, Bonnie?
Of course it's my husband's child. Are you kidding me right now, Lauren?
I feel so sorry for my brother that he would even try to make a family with someone who lies to everyone. He got caught in your net, and then he goes and dies at an early age. Why did this have to happen to him?
Would you quit putting me down? I'm really starting to get annoyed. Please stop making such negative assumptions towards my unborn child.
Look, I was just trying to guess what you've been truly doing. Besides, if you're getting angry, doesn't that mean I've hit a nerve?
You be careful about what you're about to say next, Lauren. The words you just used are also words that are insulting the memory of my husband.
See, you're getting angry. You're hiding something. I know it. So you're definitely sure that the child in you is my brother's kid?
Okay, that's it. I'm done with this. I can't deal with your insults any longer, Lauren. I am done with this conversation.
Okay, come on. Wait 1 minute, Bonnie. I'm not finished with this conversation yet.
Well, I am. I'm ending it. I don't see much point in carrying on the conversation if all you're going to do is insult me and my unborn child. I'm really sorry about yesterday. I was being rude and the blood completely rushed to my head. I assume that you still want me to move out of my house?
You are being more than rude, Bonnie. You never listen to anyone and you're so stubborn. Of course I want you out of the house.
But I don't get it. Why do you want me out of there so much? Can you please tell me honestly what is the reason for this?
Oh my God, Bonnie, how many times do I actually have to tell you? It's your fault that my brother isn't here with us anymore. If you did your job of being a wife properly, his illness could have been prevented. You've failed as a wife.
Okay. You also said you think that my child I'm pregnant with is the result of an affair, right? Do you seriously think that?
I wouldn't put it past you. It's an absolute possibility that the child isn't my brother's. A wife who uses work as an excuse to not be in the house is obviously suspicious. No matter what way you look at it, it's dodgy. You totally could have had an affair and my brother would have had no idea.
That's such a terrible thing to say. I loved your brother with all my heart. I would never cheat on him. How dare you accuse me of that? I guess you really hate me a lot if you're making accusations like that about me and my unborn child. I thought I could class you as my sister that I could go to for anything and be supported. I guess I can't do that anymore.
My brother's no longer on this earth, and you're not a part of this family anymore. Now get a move on and leave the house. Your parents must be waiting for you at your real home. With you out of the picture, I can take over the house.
Oh, Lauren, I forgot to mention something to you. The family is looking at this conversation you and I are having right now. Is that all right with you? I just need to tell them what's going on so I can get things in order.
Family? What family are you even talking about?
Well, it's actually your mom and dad who are reading the messages you've just sent me. Also, my parents came from their house to be with me.
Excuse me, what? Are you serious? My parents and your parents are both at your house right now?
I was actually thinking of going back to my parents' house for a bit, so my parents came over to pick me up. But I thought, before doing that, I'd catch up with my mother-in-law to see how she's doing.
Are you telling me that my parents can see every single message I've sent to you? You showed them our private conversation?
Yes, they have. I guess I should have told you sooner that our conversation was being watched.
How dare you not tell me? That's a breach of my privacy. You're so horrible. You never consider anyone else's feelings.
No, that would be you, Lauren. You really wanted my house, didn't you? Well, it's what my husband left to me and his child.
All you needed to do was leave quietly. But now you're trying to lure my parents into taking your side?
Well, your father also said that there was nothing that could have been done to save my husband, but you continue to blame me for his death. You know that if I could have helped my husband, then I would have done everything in my power to save him.
Are you acting right now? I can't believe this crap you're saying. You're just being like this because my parents are standing right in front of you.
What's that supposed to mean? Why would I act out my true feelings about this? It wouldn't make sense.
You've got some cheek talking to me like that. Up until yesterday, you were so angry.
Because I was desperately trying to fight back. My heart was screaming so loud. I just wanted it all to stop. I needed to stop you saying such cruel things. I just wonder why you've got so much to say.
Stop making up lies. I haven't done anything. You're not as weak as I thought you were.
You're the one who's fabricating information to make me look bad. I've had enough of it.
Saying things like my child was made during an affair? Really, Lauren? How could you sink so low? If you really doubt me, then I'll do a DNA test, shall I? I don't know. What's happening with my parents, Bonnie? How are they reacting? Well, of course they're furious with how you're treating me. They said that you're being disrespectful and heartless. What the heck? I'm allowed to say how I feel. Are they seriously becoming allies with you now or something? Why are they being like this? I'm their daughter. They should be on my side. This is despicable. I'm outraged. Why do you always act like the cute, innocent one in all situations?
The cute, innocent one? What's that supposed to mean? You're the one who's treating me like crap, Lauren. Do you think what you're accusing me of is important?
My parents were the ones who provided the deposit so that you could get the house, right? And now they're taking your side? Stop dragging them away from me. Without a husband, you shouldn't be a part of this family. You're nobody to us.
Well, my father-in-law trusts me and doesn't want me out of the family. You know, there was a time that your brother never left his room before he married me, right? He was so worried about his relationships with colleagues at work and he got super depressed.
What's that got to do with anything, Bonnie? You're going completely off topic.
At the time he was about to give up on life, I noticed something strange about his actions and did everything I could to stop him from taking his life. Your parents were really grateful for what I did for him. He was going through a really bad time mentally, and I helped him through it.
I had no idea that any of that happened to my brother. I was never told.
Because I didn't want to worry you about him, but my husband also asked me to not tell you anything. Because of this, your parents have taken good care of me.
My brother didn't want to tell me that he was depressed?
Now do you understand what's going on? It looks like now you're standing on the edge of a cliff. That puts you in a really bad position, Lauren. Well, it looks like I'll be going back to my hometown. I just got a message from your parents. They want me to go back to my parents' house right now.
What? Really? Did my parents say anything else to you apart from that?
It looks like they're going to stop supporting their daughter. You're a yoga teacher, right? You want to have more independence, yeah?
Does that mean they're going to stop financially supporting me? They can't do that.
Not only that, but they no longer consider you their daughter.
They can't just do that to me. I was born into this family, and no matter what, I am still their daughter.
Well, your mother said that they plan on using up as much money as possible while they're still alive. They don't want you to inherit anything or steal their money like you've tried to steal my house.
Are you kidding me right now? They wouldn't go that far, surely. They've got nothing to be angry about. I didn't do anything.
You literally tried to take advantage of my husband's death and steal his house from his pregnant wife.
Of course they're allowed to be angry at you for that.
And your parents consider me as a benefactor since I was your brother's wife.
That's a huge problem. I'll never be able to survive if they don't give me any money. How am I supposed to save up for anything?
Figure it out yourself, Lauren. You're an adult, remember? You can do everything on your own now since you wanted to be independent. If you want anything, you're going to have to buy it yourself, not get the money from mom or dad.
Shut up, Bonnie. This is all your fault. You've made my parents turn against me.
Don't you think you've brought that on yourself, Lauren? Get your own source of income. You're a grown-up.
Okay, can't we just make up? Be sisters again. You know what I said to you was just a joke, right?
You want us to be friendly again and be sisters? Not a chance, Lauren. You burnt that bridge a long time ago.
How dare you? You've got no strength. You rely on my parents to fight for you. You've got no way to survive on your own.
I've got a lot of people supporting me, Lauren. I'm allowed to protect myself from people like you. My late husband is the one who gives me strength every day to keep going. After that, my baby was born in my hometown. My parents worried what would happen to me, but I still returned to my house after my baby was born. While I was away, my in-laws would sometimes clean the house for me. I heard that Lauren was scrambling to find money since she'd been cut off. She ended up being scammed and was several $1,000s in debt. Her business was a failure and ended up incurring even more debt. Even when she was lost as to what to do, her parents never lent a hand. Her parents usually come by to my house. They're grateful to be able to spend time with their grandchild. They also want me to remarry whenever I find the right guy. I want to celebrate with them on the past events that happened, as they're truly honest and loving people that have helped me through tough times. I can't believe there was someone like Lauren in their family. I'll continue to live in this house that my husband left me and tell my child how wonderful their father was.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Olivia, it's already 9 p.m. Why are you still not at home? What's going on?
Sorry, I'll be stopping at my folks' house tonight, sweetie.
Again? You've been sleeping away from the house an awful lot lately.
Sure, I might not have been home much, but it's not like I'm up to anything crazy. It's just my folks' house, babe. Jeez. What's the problem with that? I already promised them I'd rustle them up something for breakfast for tomorrow, so I can hardly go canceling on them now. Imagine how upset they'd be. My folks have done so much for me. It's about time I repaid the favor, you know?
I guess it's important to show your mom and dad you appreciate them every now and again.
Right? Why don't you ever go see your folks, Harry?
They'd only treat me like I was in the way if I did.
I'm sure they wouldn't complain if you gave them a hand with the housework.
Forget my mom and dad's place. I have enough on my plate keeping on top of the housework at our house. Olivia, you went out without washing the dishes after last night's dinner, didn't you?
Oopsie. Did I? My bad, sweetie. I was planning on doing them, but it totally slipped my mind. Teehee. I'm so silly sometimes.
I do housework myself too, and it's not like I'm some Stone Age knuckle-dragger who thinks only women should do housework, so not angry or anything. But haven't you been slacking off a little too much lately? I don't ask you to do much, but it feels like you haven't been helping out at all.
Really? I did vacuum the corner of the living room the other day. Plus, I even did the laundry yesterday.
You vacuumed the other day. That was 2 months ago. And if you did the laundry yesterday, how come your clothes are scattered all over the floor in the living room? You haven't been walking Spike at all either. His kennel and dog bowl are filthy. I feel like I'm doing literally everything by myself here.
That's hardly my fault. That dog always did like you more than me.
What does that have to do with anything? He was your dog in the first place. Don't get me wrong, I love animals, so it's not like I'm complaining. But I do wish you'd give him a little more attention instead of leaving everything to me.
Stop being so horrible. It's so not fair how I had him for 2 years before we even met. But the moment you walk into our lives, you suddenly become his favorite person in the whole world, and I never get a look in. I didn't think dogs played favorites. I feel betrayed.
He's not stupid. He probably noticed you barely pay him any attention anymore. So, it's not hard to believe he wouldn't be that enthusiastic about you, given how you are with him now. You act like he doesn't exist.
No, it's more likely 'cause you're a guy like him. I knew I should have bought a cat instead. I bet a cat wouldn't suddenly switch sides on me like this.
I think it's best you don't buy any more pets, Olivia. It's not fair on the animal if you're going to get bored after 5 minutes and stop paying attention to him.
Ugh, there's no need to talk to me like that. I'd look after Spike if he started being nice to me.
I don't think that's how having a pet works.
Oopsie, it's almost bath time. My mom will get mad with me if I stop her using the tub for too long.
Alright, got it. Send your mom and dad my regards. Tell them I'm sorry I haven't shown my face around there in a while.
It's fine, sweetie. My folks are super grateful for you. They're always praising you for being such a nice guy.
I'm pleased to hear that. Oh yeah, that reminds me. How about you and me both head over to your folks' place on my next day off? I was thinking it'd be nice if we took them out for dinner or something.
Don't be silly, sweetie. We don't have to do that. Besides, I already have a dinner date planned with one of my girlfriends.
I see. Alright. Well, I guess I'll make plans with my buddies myself then.
You do that, sweetie. It's your day off. Go ahead and enjoy it however you like. Alright, I'll be home tomorrow. See ya.
Got it. Be careful on the way home. Good night. Olivia, there's something I need to talk to you about. What time will you be getting home tonight?
Oopsie. Sorry, sweetie. I'll be stopping at my folks' place again tonight.
No, Olivia. Not this time. This is important. I want you to come home.
Huh? Harry, it takes over an hour to get home from my mom and dad's house. You cannot be serious right now.
I'm dead serious.
Can't we do it over message instead?
I need to talk to you in person. Plus, there's something I want to show you.
Show me? Like what?
No, like I just said. You know what? Forget it. Let's do this. Right here. Right now.
Why not just do that from the get-go? Ugh.
You're having an affair, aren't you?
Excuse me?
You've been acting strange for months now. You stay over at your folks' place more than you do here with me. Been neglecting your housework duties too.
Look, sweetie, about the housework, I'm sorry. Really, I am. It's just that I enjoy spending time with my folks. We're really close. Surely that's not a crime. I'm a stay-at-home housewife for crying out loud. I'd barely leave the house at all if not for being able to go see my mom and dad. So sometimes I need a refresher. So what? Is that so wrong?
Remember that fishing trip I went on with my buddy last month when I had those 3 days off in a row?
Yes.
We caught so many fish that we needed to load some off. So we ended up stopping by your folks' place on the way back. Because I thought your mom could use them for her cooking. Pretty close by, so I figured it would be a win-win for everyone.
No way.
Yes way. Guess what? And they told me I should stop by with you sometime. Because, and I quote, Olivia hasn't shown her face around here in months. We really miss her.
Oh, well, you see, actually, sweetie, the thing is I lied about staying over at my folks' place. I was actually staying with my friend all along.
You a dude?
No, she's a girl. It's my friend Haley.
Drop the act. I already looked into it all. I'm saying all this right now because I have proof.
Proof?
Yeah, proof of you and your lover going out on romantic day trips. Proof of you constantly hanging around at his house. Proof of... You know what? Let's not even go there. The bottom line, Olivia, is that I know. So how about you drop the excuses and be straight with me for a change? I want a divorce.
No. Wait a second. Divorce? Are you serious?
Serious as it gets. I can't carry on living with someone who cheated on me. I'm not saying this out of some hasty emotional reaction. This is what I decided on after finding out about the affair. And thinking long and hard about what I want out of life and what I'm willing to tolerate.
I see.
Got it.
But just remember, you're the one who's initiating the divorce, Harry, not me. I hope you don't end up regretting it.
Don't worry, I definitely won't. As for the divorce proceedings, everything will be done through my lawyer.
Does that include compensation?
Yep.
Fine, I'll be in touch with my lawyer too then.
Do as you please.
Listen, sweetie, I'm sorry. I would have never guessed in a million years I'd end up catching feelings for anyone other than you. But to be totally honest, I can't lie about how I feel.
Save it. I ain't interested.
Well, just remember one thing. You're the one who caused this by forcing me to be a stay-at-home housewife.
Excuse me?
Think about it. I had nothing but free time on my hands. It was seriously boring.
What the hell are you talking about? You're the one who said you wanted to focus on the household after we got married. I didn't force you to do jack.
But you were always better at housework than me. I didn't see any point in me being around when you had everything on lockdown.
What the heck? I was doing that to help. You know what? Forget it. It's all meaningless. 'Cause we're done.
Let's be adults about this, shall we? Divorce isn't about who was in the wrong. But I think you'd be better off not going out of your day to do everything by yourself if you ever get married again. 'Cause you'll give your partner the wrong idea just like you did me.
What are we gonna do about Spike? Probably best I take him, right?
Obviously, I don't want a dog who hates me. Keep the furry little asshole. I'll be heading over to the house to pack up my stuff soon. I'll hand over the key to my lawyer when I'm done.
I'm done handing in the divorce papers.
Got it. Thanks for everything, sweetie. Now hurry up and forget me as soon as possible so you can get to work on building your new life and finding happiness again.
I don't need you to tell me that.
Oh, by the way, when will you be paying me my $350,000 in compensation?
Huh? What are you talking about? We already got done with the compensation stuff. Already got everything I wanted out of you. And I got no intention of paying a cent of it back.
Huh? I didn't pay you anything? What do you mean you got what you wanted out of me?
No, what do you mean? You're not making any sense, woman. I got the compensation from the affair from the distribution of assets. Our lawyers squared it all up for us. This is already done and dusted. And please, $350K? Are you pulling figures out of your ass, or you just lost your mind?
That's how much compensation you owe me.
Me? Owe you compensation? How do you figure that one out? On what planet could I possibly owe you compensation after you cheated on me?
What?
Listen, Olivia. The one who cheats pays the compensation. That's how divorces work.
You mean the money got taken from my assets?
Yeah, exactly. So this is over.
But how am I supposed to get by now? I needed that money. You divorced me when I was a stay-at-home wife for crying out loud. I didn't make a single cent the whole time we were together. Surely that means you owe me compensation.
Olivia, seriously, what are you actually talking about here? I genuinely have no idea what you're getting at. I have no obligation to pay you a single cent in compensation.
So how am I supposed to live now? I don't have a job.
So get one and start making money. It ain't my problem. Or if the idea of working is so unconscionable, get a lover boy to feed, house, and clothe you.
What?
No, it should be me who's surprised. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I think this might have been what my lawyer was talking about the other day. Hang on a sec. Let me send you a message. Mr. Stiles, your ex-wife keeps sending me these odd messages asking when she'll be receiving her compensation from you.
Well, duh. Of course I asked him. And when I did, he told me I was the one who'd be paying.
Right. Which you then agreed to and signed the divorce agreement, did you not?
Sure, I might have signed it, but I didn't understand what I was agreeing to. Surely you didn't actually expect me to read all that crap. It was like 3 pages long. I couldn't be doing with the hassle, and besides, even if I did have any objections, Your lawyer's such a pig-headed jerk. He wouldn't have listened if I said anything anyway. But I'm entitled to compensation, aren't I? Because it was you who wanted this divorce in the first place.
I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall here. Hold on a sec. Can we just be clear that you understand that you're the one who pays me compensation in this situation?
I did hear that you have to pay compensation when you get a divorce, but I had no idea they'd subtract it from my assets without my permission.
That's only because you weren't listening when everything was explained. And believe me, it was explained several times, in fact. So, did you mishear our lawyers or something? Is that why you thought you'd be the one getting compensation?
No, I thought the one who kicked off the divorce was the one who paid. If you didn't, I'd end up broken homeless in a heartbeat. How can that be legal? I heard that when my aunt got divorced, she was something like 350,000 K in compensation from her husband. So I figured that's what I deserve too.
There are so many holes in what you're saying, I don't even know where to start. Everything finally makes sense now, though. So this is why you've been so cocky and arrogant since the divorce. You thought you'd be coming into a lump sum, didn't you? You really did make the mother of all misunderstandings.
What? Misunderstanding? What are you talking about?
I can't be bothered to explain. I doubt you'd understand. Anyway, why not try getting Loverboy to tell you? I filed for compensation against him, too. Something tells me he probably understands his situation a lot more than you do yours. So, he could probably teach you a thing or two about the gravity of the mess you're in.
Wait, Harry, you can't not pay me any compensation. That's fraud. I'll have you arrested. You will pay me what's mine. You're not getting away with this. Harry, what time will you be coming home?
Huh?
I'm waiting for you outside the house. I handed the keys back, so I can't get inside anymore.
Yeah, obviously. What are you talking about? You do know we're divorced now.
I'm so sorry.
What are you apologizing for?
I was in the wrong. I'm sorry I let that jerk deceive me.
Excuse me? Hold on a sec. Did Loverboy dump you?
No, I dumped him.
I see.
I had no choice. He told me we couldn't be together anymore. Not only that, but he called me an idiot. How could he do that after telling me he loved me more than anything? Isn't that horrible?
Wait, doesn't that mean he dumped you? Nah, forget it. Oh yeah, do you understand why the whole compensation thing went down the way it did? You do get that you won't be getting any compensation from me, don't you? Has the penny dropped?
Yes, Jeff explained everything. That's when he called me an idiot. Then we started fighting, and before I knew it, well, you know what happened.
I see.
Harry, I really am sorry. I've been thinking about you all day, about how lovely, kind, and caring you are. When I realized how special you really were to me, I just couldn't contain myself anymore. I just had to come back to the house, our house, the place where we made so many amazing memories together.
You're a pain in the ass. Go home.
Ugh, how could you say that? I want to meet you in person and apologize properly.
I don't want to see you again for the rest of my life.
Well, I want to see you again. I want to see you and I want us to talk.
That's funny. You told me to speak to you over message when I desperately wanted to talk to you in person. Remember?
I'm sorry. I really am sorry, Harry. Like, super sorry.
All right. So you won't have any more affairs?
Never again, I swear. I'll be the most loyal wife there ever was. I'll serve your every need and desire. So please, can't we give things one more shot? Things were going well between us, weren't they? We didn't have any major fights and we were happy, weren't we?
Sure, until you cheated on me.
But like I said, I won't do that again. Not ever. I swear on my life I'll never do anything to betray you ever again.
Do you really think I can trust anything you say now? You tried blaming me for the affair, for Christ's sake. Not only that, but you actually had the gall to think I was going to be the one paying you compensation when you were the one who betrayed me. I'm not exaggerating when I say this. That was the most moronic thing I'd ever heard in my life. I was grateful from the bottom of my heart that I had the good sense to break things off with you when you came at me with that crap.
Please, baby. Like I said, that was all a misunderstanding. I thought my situation was the same as my aunt's. That's all. But it turns out she divorced after being married for 40 years when her husband retired and there was no affair involved.
Did you really think I wasn't going to see through the fact we're only having this conversation now because Loverboy jacked you in? You have no money, nowhere to go. I'm losing brain cells just by talking to you. This discussion is over. I don't want anything else to do with you for as long as I live. I mean it.
In that case, I want Spike back. I'm the one who bought him. He was mine before we met. He's part of my assets and he belongs to me.
You're the one who said you didn't want him. You obviously have no interest in looking after him.
Bingo, you're damn right. I have no intention of caring for the little shit.
What?
If you're so opposed to the idea of making me take custody of him, then I suggest you pay up. I'll settle for $7,000. So how about you pay me what's mine and we call it a good for a day? If you don't pay up, I'll have you back in court.
Just when I thought you couldn't sink any lower. You really are scum. I ain't paying you jack. You signed the divorce agreement that declared me as Spike's legal owner.
What? It said that?
I can't believe you're using my dog to threaten me because things didn't work out with the guy you threw away our marriage for. You really are the most despicable excuse of a human being I've ever had the misfortune of existing on the same planet with. Every word you utter only strengthens my resolve that I made the best decision of my life when I divorced you.
No, Harry, please, just hold on a second. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean it one bit. I don't know what came over me. I just saw red.
Too little too late.
I'm waiting for you, sweetie. I'll always be waiting for you. I'll wait outside our house for months if that's what it takes. Please, I'm begging you. Won't you just hear me out? 5 minutes. 5 minutes is all I ask for.
You're free to wait out there for as long as you like. I don't live there anymore. But if you're gonna hang around, just make sure you don't inconvenience any of the neighbors.
What? You moved house?
Yep.
To where? I seriously don't have anywhere to go.
Not my problem. We're divorced. You're on your own now. Go wherever you want.
I can't do this, Harry. I can't live on my own. Harry, won't you please help me? Please, please.
Why don't you find a job and look for someone who will let you camp out on their sofa? There are tons of ads for that sort of thing up online. You're bored of being a housewife anyway, right? Besides, me and you being together now would be meaningless. It's time for you to hurry up and forget me so you can get to work on building your new life and finding happiness again. After that, Olivia's situation plunged further into chaos, as she continued to be tossed around the pinball machine of life, from hotel to net cafe, and from net cafe to park bench. Eventually, being completely broke and without a hope in hell of finding anyone else to put her up, she went back to her parents' house, a flaccid, dejected mess. However, unfortunately for her, her mom and dad told her that they never wanted to see her again, and no sooner had she arrived than she was sent back on her way. What's more, back when I got in touch with her lover about the compensation, he told me all about how my ex-wife had shown up at his house causing a huge fuss, eventually leaving him no choice but to call 911, never taken away in the back of a cop car. Naturally, none of this is my problem. He deserved everything he got for having an affair with a married woman in the first place. But I do hope no other unfortunate souls have to put up with her crap from here on out. I hope she carries on clinging to her ex-lover desperately and leaves the rest of us respectable folk alone. Something tells me neither of them will be experiencing anything resembling happiness anytime soon. As for me, I sold the house and moved into a fancy new apartment with my beloved dog Spike as soon as possible. And let me tell you, we're enjoying the heck out of our peaceful new life. They say every cloud is a silver lining, and for me, I'm super grateful that I was able to meet Spike. Now, I'm the biggest dog lover there is. It's thanks to him that I was able to hold out back when I first started thinking about divorce, and then finally when I bit the bullet and did what I had to do. I know he's just a dog, and this might sound crazy, but he really was there for me throughout the whole thing. And I can barely imagine what kind of emotional wreck I might have been coming out of the other end of it all if I'd have been totally on my own. Who knows? Maybe I wouldn't even have the courage to divorce Olivia in the first place. It might be nice if I could meet someone else someday, but after what I just went through, I sure as heck ain't in no rush. For the time being, I'm just gonna focus on taking it easy and looking after my Spike. Attaboy.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey there, Mindy. It's been a while, huh? Wait, is this Lily? Really? That's right. I don't think I've seen you since I gave birth.
How have you been? Everything going well?
Yes, I'm doing pretty well, thank you.
I'm sorry. I know it must be pretty weird to be hearing from me like this. It's not often that your brother's ex-wife just texts you out of the blue.
No, that's not it. It's just, well, my brother said that he hasn't been able to get a hold of you in some time. I'm just a bit surprised is all.
Yeah, well, I've been kind of busy. But don't worry, I always take a minute to text him back if it's something important.
I'm sure you've been hearing this from my brother, but he's been desperate to see your daughter. He's been making his child support payments on time every month, hasn't he? Could you please let the two of them have some time together?
Hey, I've been trying to do that for a while. It's just that the timing is never right. You know how life goes. Plus, I have my own job too, so yeah, it's kind of hard to find time.
I understand that you have your work to take care of, but my brother hasn't been able to see his own daughter for 3 years. You have to understand how painful that is for him. And Mina's about to start school, isn't she? I'm asking you this as one woman to another. Please let my brother see his daughter. He has a right to see Mina, and Mina has the right to see him.
Yeah, I get it. I'll try to set up a meeting sometime in the next few weeks.
Please do. So, if you don't mind me asking, what on earth are you texting me for? I'm curious as to why you're contacting me instead of my brother when he's the one who you really should be talking to.
I was going through my old contacts and I found your name. And, I got kind of curious. I was kind of wondering how your brother was doing these days.
If you want to know that, why don't you ask him directly?
Oh, come on. He's my ex-husband. I don't want to have to deal with talking to him. So, how's he doing?
I guess he's doing all right. His career is advancing pretty smoothly.
Is he still working at the same company?
Yes, the same one. Although he's been out of the country on business since last month, so he's not in town right now.
Whoa, he's out of the country? Jeez, you weren't kidding. He must be doing pretty well for himself. Man, I wish I could get the chance to travel to another country.
Well, it's for business, not pleasure.
So when's he coming back to town?
Next month, I think.
I see. Next month, huh? Okay, I guess I'll arrange for him to see his daughter after he gets back from his little vacation.
I would really appreciate that. It would make my brother happier than you could imagine.
And what about you, Mindy? How have you been? You get yourself a boyfriend yet?
No, I'm single.
Aw, really? Wow, I'm sorry to hear that. It must be tough to be alone in your 30s. So, do you spend all your days off by yourself?
Yeah, generally. It's been way too hot lately to go outside, so I've been staying indoors whenever possible.
Ugh, I know, right? What is with this heat? I can barely stand stepping away from the air conditioner these days. Oh, hey, I'm sorry. I've got to go get Mina ready for school.
That's okay, I understand. Again, I would really appreciate you making sure Mina gets to see my brother regularly.
Hi, Mindy, it's me again. So, did you get my present?
Huh? Present? I'm not sure what you mean.
I'm talking about Mina.
Are you telling me that the child who I found sitting on my doorstep just now is Mina?
Ding, 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 we have a winner. You really didn't notice?
I did have my suspicions, but how was I supposed to know for sure? The last time I saw her, she was a newborn.
You let her into your house, though, right?
Lily, it's almost 100 degrees outside right now. What were you thinking abandoning such a young child in the brutal heat like that?
What's the problem? Today's your day off, isn't it? You shouldn't have any trouble with looking after her for a day.
I've been out of the house since this morning. I only just got back a few moments ago.
Oh, really? My bad.
My bad? Is that all you have to say for yourself? When did you drop her off? How long has she been sitting out there? She was sweating like crazy when I found her. She was barely conscious.
It's no big deal. She's only been out there for about 2 hours or so. Just give her some cold juice or something. She'll be fine.
Oh my God, you left a 3-year-old child on their own in the heat for 2 hours? Do you have any idea how dangerous that was?
Seriously, what's the big deal? She plays outside that long all the time. Kids are a lot tougher than adults think.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Anyways, thanks for taking care of Mina for me today. Make sure to feed her occasionally.
You need to contact my brother right now. He's been wanting to see Mina for ages.
How am I supposed to do that? He's out of the country, right? I contacted him about child support a while back, and he said that he wouldn't be around this time of year. So I figured I could hand her off to you for the day.
Of course, I'd be glad to look after her whenever I can, but you need to give me advance notice, at least a few days. It's not like you don't have my phone number. Why didn't you call me?
I thought it would be a really fun surprise for you. I guess you weren't in the mood for a surprise, huh?
If I hadn't come home just now, Mina would have been on her own all day in the heat on my porch, Lily. Think of what could have happened to her. She could have been kidnapped.
Yeah, that's why I'm texting you right now. Man, you're just like your brother, you know that? Always being picky about the smallest things. That must be a product of your home environment, I guess.
I'm pretty confident that not leaving a child alone for 2 hours outside is common sense to any home environment.
What's worse, taking her to your house or leaving her at home alone all day? I went out of my way to put her into the hands of a trusted family member. I'd say I acted more than responsibly.
It's not like I just abandoned her in the middle of the woods. Seriously, I'm over here doing my best to take care of my daughter, and you're criticizing me for that? Sheesh. Is that really how you see what happened today? Oh, and one more thing. How did you know where my house was? I only moved in here a few months ago after my company transferred me to this area.
That's a funny story, actually. So I just happened to see you going into your house a while back. It was a total coincidence. Small world, huh?
I take it that you two live in this area too, then?
I'm gonna plead the fifth on that one. I don't want you to go blabbing to your brother about where we are. It would cause me a world of trouble.
Yeah? How so?
I have my reasons. If Mina hasn't eaten lunch yet, she likes hot dogs. You can go out and buy some if you don't have any on hand.
Lily, it's past the time you said you would come and pick up Mina. When are you going to come and get her?
Oh man, is it really that time already?
Yes, it is. Don't tell me you forgot.
No, it's not like that at all. Hey, I hate to ask you to do this, but would you mind taking care of her for just a bit longer? Like, say, about 3 days or so?
What? You said that you were going to come and pick her up this evening.
Sorry, but my hands are full at the moment. I can't go anywhere just yet.
That's your problem, not mine. This is all way too sudden. I have to work tomorrow too, you know.
Please, Mindy, you gotta help me out. I don't have anyone else I can turn to.
My parents told me they never want to see my face again. Okay, but what about me? I don't have anyone around here who can look after Mina for me while I'm at work either.
Don't you have any paid time off? Seems like a pretty simple solution to me. I've already used Mina getting a cold as an excuse way too many times. My company won't believe me. Plus, I used up all my paid leave.
Unbelievable. Fine. But you need to tell me the name and address of your company.
Why?
For emergencies, I need to be able to contact you.
Nah, don't worry about a thing. I'll pick her up this time, I promise. Plus, if I tell you where I work, you might tell your brother, which I need to avoid at all costs. I can't have my ex knowing where I live or work.
You don't think of anyone but yourself, do you?
It's a defense mechanism. I have to be selfish, otherwise I'd never be able to make it as a single mother. So we're good, right?
Hey, Mina's been looking and feeling pretty unwell for a while now. I was hoping to take her over to the hospital to have them check on her.
She gets that way all the time. It's nothing to be concerned about. Just put her to bed. She'll feel better in the morning.
I can't do that. I'm really concerned about her, so I'm gonna take her to the doctor.
Be my guest if you're that inclined, but the doctor's bill is coming out of your pocket. Got it?
I got it. Does she have any allergies or pre-existing conditions I should know about?
I don't know. Probably not.
Probably not, huh?
Need anything else? Can I go now? Tell Mina Mommy told her to be a good girl for Aunt Mindy. Sorry I haven't been able to answer my phone, Mindy. Did you need something?
I have been trying to get a hold of you forever. Didn't you even read any of my messages? I took Mina to the hospital last night.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling so hot last night either. I fell asleep right after I put down my phone. That's why I didn't see your texts.
I see.
How's Mina doing? You said they kept her overnight?
That's right. When I took her to the hospital last night, they said they wanted to keep her overnight for observation. They said it would be unsafe to let her leave without doing a few more tests.
Wow, they're really making a big deal out of nothing. Seriously, she's just tired from the heat, that's all. I'll pick her up in a few days after she's gotten better. I'll be sure to get plenty of rest in the meantime.
You're too late.
Huh?
You don't need to come pick her up ever. You're never going to see Mina again.
What are you talking about? What's going on? What happened to Mina?
Are you really going to pretend like you don't know? Think about the current situation. You left Mina on my doorstep without letting me know in advance, or even checking if I was home. After that, you then told me that you need me to watch her for another 3 days. And even though Mina is sick and in the hospital, you haven't even come down to see her. What is the matter with you?
I told you, I'm busy with work.
Are you really working right now, Lily? From what my brother tells me, you're hopping from one seedy nightclub to the next.
Hey, how does he know about that?
I told you that he was desperate to see Mina, didn't I? Well, apparently he's been digging into you. But every time he managed to track you down, you had already quit your job and moved. Eventually, he reached the end of your trail of breadcrumbs and couldn't find you again.
Don't you dare belittle me for how I choose to make money. It's work, okay? Real work, and I work very hard. What's wrong with working hard to support my daughter? So what if I move around a lot? As long as Mina's doing fine, I don't see any problem with my work situation.
Oh, trust me, I am well aware that you do a lot of moving in your occupation. Horizontally, that is. But the biggest problem here isn't actually your job, it's you.
Oh yeah, and just what's the problem with me, huh?
The problem is that regardless of what you consider to be work, you're hardly doing it at all. You're just living off my brother's child support payments to you. Mina says that you aren't sending her to any daycare program and that you just leave her at home while you're at work. And there are some days when you don't even come home at all. Are you really sure that Mina's doing as fine as you claim she is?
Oh, come on. Are you really gonna believe what a 3-year-old tells you? If she told you that she was a magical fairy princess or something, would you believe that?
The doctors at the hospital also told me that Mina was slightly malnourished. And they also said that she is well below the average height and weight for her age. Her being malnourished was what made her get so much worse when you abandoned her in the blistering heat for hours on end yesterday.
She's a picky eater. I can never get her to eat anything I make. She's just a naturally sick girl.
Mina was scarfing down plate after plate when they brought her meals at the hospital, with a huge smile on her face the whole time. She said that she loved everything.
She's probably shy from being surrounded by a bunch of people she doesn't know. You might technically be her aunt, but she's never even really met you until yesterday. I bet she's just too scared to say how she really feels.
No, I doubt that's the case. After all, my brother's here with her.
What? What's he doing there? I thought you said he was out of the country.
He was, but did you forget we're only a few hours away from the border? When I told him about what was going on with Mina yesterday, he just hopped right in his car and drove back here. It didn't take long.
But does Mina even remember him? She hasn't even seen him in 3 years.
Oh yes, she knows exactly who her father is. She's been clinging to him constantly since he got here last night. So no, she's not lying to us because she's nervous or afraid.
Well, what's your brother saying to you? He hasn't said anything to me at all.
He's got quite a lot to do at the moment. He's really busy. Plus, it's not like him trying to contact you would have accomplished anything. I was trying to get a hold of you all day yesterday, and you didn't even pick up the phone a single time. I'm coming over there right now. I'm taking Mina home with me. Weren't you saying you weren't feeling well? I think you'd better rest up and recover before you head over here, don't you? Yeah, well, I'm suddenly feeling a lot better now. I can't let your lousy brother take Mina from me. And I'm the one with full custody, so what I say goes. And I say Mina's coming home with me. And I say that your brother is not allowed to see Mina. Do I make myself clear? All of this is happening because you left Mina with me. Or more specifically, you left her on my doorstep. I took her to the hospital as any decent person would, and her father rushed down to the hospital as any decent father would. I think the issue is you just don't understand how decent people think. You think my brother is just like you, which is why you think he's going to try and take her from you. That's not it. I'm afraid he's going to tell her a bunch of lies about me to try and turn her against me. If you had actually treated her like a decent mother would treat her child, then I'm sure that Mina would have been more than happy to go back to living with you. Oh, shut up, would you? Tell me what hospital you're at. Tell me right now. I told you the name of the hospital yesterday. We're at Central Hospital, the one right downtown across from the park. Got it, I'm on my way. I think you should know before you get down here that even if you are allowed into the room to see her, Mina is not going home with you. Fine, I'll take her home once the hospital releases her. No, I believe my brother is the one who's going to take her home. I'm the one with full custody, Mindy. I get it. You want to stick up for your brother, but this is the law I'm talking about. When we got divorced, the judge decided that she would be better off living full-time with her mother. I suppose you'll have to raise that with the Child Protective Services representative currently talking to Mina. What? Child Protective Services? Why are they getting involved? The doctors who looked at Mina thought that there were certain issues with your parenting style. They contacted CPS, and the agent who interviewed Mina seems to agree. Haven't you ever heard of mandatory reporting laws? Doctors have a duty to report parents like you. Why? Does this mean I'm not going to be able to live with Mina anymore? How am I supposed to get by without her? Well, that confirms it. You only ever pursued full custody of Mina so that you could live off my brother's child support payments. That's not what I meant. I meant to say that without her by my side, how am I going to muster up the will to live? Or something like that. I think you should have thought about that before you chose to abandon her in sweltering heat on my doorstep for 2 hours. Not only that, you had every chance in the world to come to the hospital once you heard what happened to her. Or at the very least, you could have actually messaged me back rather than leaving me on red. Mindy, listen. You have no idea how hard it is to raise a daughter all by yourself as a single mother. Between work and childcare, well, something's gotta give. I gotta make compromises somewhere. I'm sure that being a single mother is quite difficult. No doubt you've struggled quite a bit over the last few years. However, my brother has been paying you far more than enough to get by with child support. It was not enough, not at all. That's why Mina got malnourished. It was all his fault. He's been sending you $2,000 a month. If that's somehow not enough to make ends meet, that's your problem, not his. Furthermore, if you were really struggling and wanted to take care of Mina, then you should have talked to my brother about that. I wish I could have done that. I could have avoided all of this. But I was abandoned by both him and my parents. I had nowhere to go, no one to turn to. I had to get by all on my own. Just so we're clear, my brother divorced you and your parents disowned you because you were having an affair. You have no one to blame for any of that but yourself. Please, Mindy, you've got to help me. Tell your brother not to take Mina away from me. Mina is saying that she wants to go live with her father. She says she doesn't want to be alone at her apartment all day anymore.
I'm sorry for making her feel lonely. I had no idea she was feeling that way. I've learned my lesson, okay? I'll do better this time around. I'll treat her right. So please, give me back my Mina. You don't have any kids of your own, so I doubt you'd understand this. But being apart from your kids is painful. It's like trying to live without air.
Do you actually think Mina would want to go back to live with a woman who leaves her alone at the house for days at a time? Kids are smart, Lily. They understand a lot more than adults think they do. I may not be a mother, so I can't say I know how a mother would feel in your situation, but I was a kid once, so I can say this for certain. I would rather live on the street than be stuck with a selfish, uncaring, deadbeat mom like you. After that, CPS officially determined that Lily was unfit to retain custody of Mina. It seems the reason that she left Mina with me on that fateful day was because she wanted to go see her boyfriend. Her own apartment was something like you would see on one of those hoarder documentary series. So she was spending most of her time at her boyfriend's apartment. She would also just shove Mina outside of the apartment and leave her to run around the area for hours at a time. So her neighbors had been calling CPS on her as well. I bet that's the reason she was moving around so often. Every time she caught wind that CPS was coming to speak to Mina, she would move away. My brother took Lily to court, and full custody of Mina was transferred from Lily to my brother. Additionally, a restraining order was placed on Lily, forbidding her from contacting Mina. I heard that soon after their last court hearing, Lily disappeared again. But my brother is living the dream he's clung to for the last 3 years and enjoying his life with Mina. He moved in with our parents so they can look after her while he's at work. Mina's getting much healthier too. She was nothing but skin and bones when I first met her, but she's filling out very nicely. She's also smiling a lot more than she did back then. It was actually a total coincidence that I moved to this area. But after everything that's happened, I'm super grateful to my company for sending me here. I'm going to do everything I can to help my brother make sure Mina gets a life that's just as happy as she deserves. And you know what else? All of this has got me thinking, maybe having a kid of my own wouldn't be so bad.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, Minnie, I just got out of work. Is everything ready to go for the vacation tomorrow?
Hey, Greg. Yep, I have basically everything all ready to go. Although I guess it's not really a vacation, really.
Didn't you say your friend was having a wedding in Hawaii? I think you said the two of you graduated together.
Yeah, that's right. Seriously, though, it feels kind of weird going to a classmate's wedding. I mean, I already have a daughter in high school. Isn't that crazy?
Well, I don't know. We are in our late 30s. Nowadays, I'd guess that this sort of thing isn't too uncommon.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Come to think of it, a lot of the people coming to the wedding aren't married yet either. What even is the average age for the first marriage these days? Mid-30s?
Yeah, it's probably around there. You're gonna do some sightseeing after the wedding, right?
Yep, the plan is to be over there for 3 days. So I'll be home by early next week.
Hey, don't worry about it. Take your time. Relax and enjoy yourself. You've earned it.
Thanks, Greg. I can count on you to take care of the house while I'm gone, right? Oh, and if you could also keep an eye on Holly, that would be great. She's got a lot of studying to do, so could you maybe do a bit more of the housework, just to take the burden off of her?
Sure thing, will do. Oh yeah, am I gonna be able to contact you while you're in Hawaii? Just in case I need to get in touch with you for emergencies and the like.
Yeah, the hotel I'm staying at has Wi-Fi, so you should be fine. Plus, I checked with my carrier, and I get normal service in Hawaii.
Oh, really? I've never been out of the continental 48 states, so I had no idea how that would work.
Yeah, no worries. You'll be able to keep in touch with me.
Technology sure is something, huh? It's crazy to compare today to when we were kids.
Is there anything else you want to ask me right now?
Let me think. Nah, I think I'm all good for now. Go ahead and have fun for all three of us, okay?
Thanks, Greg. It's gonna be great. Oh, actually, I just remembered something. While I'm over there, it might take me longer than usual to respond to your texts.
You don't need to worry about that at all. Why'd you say that?
I'll have Wi-Fi in the hotel, so that shouldn't be a problem. But if I go outside, there's no guarantee that I'll have a very good connection. So it might take your messages longer to get to me, and mine will take longer to get back to you. Hopefully it won't be a problem.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I'm not planning on contacting you for anything much outside of emergencies anyway.
Thanks for being so understanding.
Okay, well, I'm about to head home. You're leaving first thing in the morning, right? You should probably go to bed early.
Yep, I was planning to. Thanks so much for taking care of so much for me while I'll be away. I really appreciate it. Hey, Greg. The wedding just ended. It was wonderful. The bride's dress was gorgeous, and you wouldn't believe the scenery here.
Sounds like you're having fun. I'm glad you're able to go.
Me too. Seriously, Greg, I don't know how to thank you for giving me the okay to come to this wedding.
You're always working so hard taking care of the house, and Holly, this is the least I can do to thank you. You're going sightseeing tomorrow, right? Don't worry about a thing. We're doing totally fine over here. You go out and enjoy yourself.
I definitely will. There are a ton of places I want to go while I'm here. A few of my friends are going to come along with me, too. It's going to be great.
Just don't forget to get us a good souvenir, okay? Holly said that she wants something chocolate. And if you forget, she'll never forgive you.
I won't forget. I'm going to go to the store before I go back to the airport to get some souvenirs. Holly wants chocolate then. Got it.
Thanks. Oh, by the way, I heard this from Holly today. Apparently there was a car accident near her school. And what's scary is it was on the same road that Holly always walks down on her way to school.
Really? Wow, that's scary. There are a ton of small roads intersecting around there, and the stop signs and all that are really hard to see. I hear there are a lot of accidents there.
Yeah, that's exactly what Holly said. She was not all that surprised that there was an accident.
A while ago, she actually saw one happen in real time. Someone should do something about that area. Like, move the signs around or remake some of the roads. Do something.
Man, remaking those roads would be a pretty big task. Though, I'd take her to school myself if I could. But I work so early in the morning, I can't. It's really concerning.
Well, she's been fine up until now, right? I'm sure she'll be fine. Holly's a high school student. She can take care of herself.
Yeah, I'm not concerned about her doing anything dangerous. But it's the other people on the road that I'm concerned about. I can't control what the drivers do.
Well, we don't really have any choice, do we? Her school is where it is. They can't move it. I know the school tells the students all the time to watch out for cars.
Yeah, but still. What am I doing? You're on vacation. I shouldn't be bothering you with this.
No, don't worry about it, Greg. She's our daughter. It's only natural we'd be concerned about her. I'm concerned about her just the same as you are. After I get back, I'll start driving her to school whenever I can.
I'm sorry to force that on you, but that would make me feel a lot better.
You're not forcing anything on me. I want to do it. Holly's my daughter too, like I said. Okay, well, we're about to eat, so is it okay if I take off here?
Yeah, go ahead. You take care of yourself too, Minnie.
Thanks, Greg. I'm pretty sure I'll be out of the hotel most of the day tomorrow, so I probably won't be able to respond to messages very much. I'll talk to you tomorrow evening, though.
Gotcha. Have fun, Minnie.
Greg, are you there? I just got a call from my mom. Is what she said true?
Oh, now you respond. I was trying to get a hold of you all day yesterday, but you didn't even read my messages. You're pretty late to the party.
I told you yesterday, didn't I? Anyway, this isn't the time for us to be arguing like this. I heard that Holly got taken to the hospital. What happened to her? Is she okay?
Holly's fine. Our relationship is another story altogether.
Holly's fine? Oh, thank goodness. Wait, what? What about our relationship?
Do I need to spell it out for you? We're through. Once you get back from your vacation, I'm divorcing you.
What? How can you say that at a time like this? If this is some kind of a joke, you are sick, Greg.
Oh, believe me, I really wish I were joking. Unfortunately, it's the truth. I'm dead serious.
What are you talking about? Why are you talking like this?
Are you asking me why? Think about it. I'm pretty sure you have a good idea why.
Greg, what have I ever done to get you to divorce me? I'm already terrified about what's going on with Holly. How can you divorce me at a time like this? Is Holly really okay?
Yeah, don't worry about her. She's fine. When she was taken to the hospital, they said she'd need an organ transplant. And since I couldn't do it, your dad stepped up and offered to do it.
An organ transplant? How serious was this accident? What even happened?
It's just like we talked about, that road to her school is super dangerous. A car ran off the road and was driving down the sidewalk.
Oh my god.
But that's not the only surprise. Tell me, why do you suppose I wasn't able to give Holly one of my organs, but your dad was? I told the doctor that he could take anything Holly needed from me, even my heart or lungs, but the doctor said no.
He did? But why?
Because I'm not Holly's real father. They did a test on me to see if my organs would be compatible with Holly, and the results showed that she's not my biological daughter. Holly is 16 years old, and I never had any idea that she wasn't mine. Care to explain?
That's not true.
What's not true? You were cheating on me and got pregnant with Holly. Isn't that true? And you hid it from me all these years. Tell me, exactly what am I saying right now that isn't true? Well, nothing to say for yourself? I thought as much. If I were in your position right now, I don't know what I'd say either. You're scum, Minnie.
Hold on, calm down. It was a mistake. I'm sorry. It was only one time, and then I got pregnant with Holly. How could I tell you about that?
I'm done with you. I don't want to hear any of your excuses.
Greg, come on, please. Please, Greg, hear me out.
Holly's operation is about to start right now, so I'm not in the mood to listen to your pathetic excuses. For now, just get back here as soon as possible. We'll continue this conversation after Holly's operation is finished. Got it?
I would love nothing more than to be able to come home now, but this is all too sudden.
Daughter and father are having serious operations, Minnie. I don't care what you have to do to get back here right now. Just do it.
Hey, Greg, how's Holly? Is she doing any better?
Yeah, the surgery went perfectly, but that was several days ago. She's awake, alert, and looking pretty well, all things considered. If I didn't know any better, I'd say she looks like she was never even in an accident.
Wow, that's great to hear.
By the way, I had a little talk with Holly about you and what's going to happen here on out.
Hey, hold on just a second. Don't you think you're rushing things a bit too much? Think about Holly's condition. You shouldn't upset her like that.
Don't blame me. I wasn't planning to bring it up until she got out of the hospital. Holly was the one who asked me about it. She asked me if maybe I wasn't her real father.
What? She did? Why?
Because her real father came to the hospital to visit her. I guess he came while I was at work one day, and he's the one who told Holly about everything.
Oh no.
You said that it was a mistake. It was only once, right? But if that's true, that brings up a very big question. How did he know not only that Holly was in an accident, but even what hospital she was in and what her room number was?
How am I supposed to know? I'm telling the truth. It was only once. You have to believe me.
Oh yeah? He said that he heard about everything from you. And what's more, he said he heard from you while you were on your vacation in Hawaii. So I'm afraid you're going to have to think up a new excuse for that one.
I'm sorry. The truth is, I was cheating on you after Holly was born, too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought I'd be more shocked to hear you admit that, but I guess nothing you do surprises me anymore.
But you have to believe just this one thing. You and Holly are the ones I really love, not him. He was just a fling. Our relationship was only ever physical. I have always been dedicated to our family.
Do you think you could say that with a straight face to Holly? After you've lied to us and betrayed us for all these years? Could you look at your daughter in the eyes and say that?
Well...
Yeah, that's what I thought. You coward. All your excuses and apologies to me have just been a sorry attempt to save face. You can lie to me, you're used to that. But Holly, not a chance.
Hey, don't talk about me like I'm some monster. I love you. I've always loved you. Both you and Holly. You can't treat me like this.
If you really loved me, then why didn't you tell me the truth the moment you got pregnant with Holly?
How could I? I didn't want to hurt you.
It's been 16 years, Minnie. 16! 16 years have gone by since I became Holly's dad. Don't you get it? It hurts way more finding out after all this time than it would have if you were just honest with me from the beginning. I found out my daughter isn't my daughter while she was in the hospital on the operating table.
I'm sorry.
Next, let's talk about Holly. If you really loved Holly, then why didn't you divorce me and let her grow up with her real dad? Don't you think that would have been better for Holly?
Are you kidding? That guy's never held down a steady job. He can barely support himself, much less a wife and daughter.
Oh, I see. so he used me to raise his daughter for him. All the while not even thinking once about how much it would hurt Holly when she found out the truth. You don't love anyone but yourself. You don't love me or Holly. That's the only way you'd be able to do something as cold-blooded and cruel as what you did.
That's not true. I never meant for any of this to happen.
What's going on here? Do you think that everything would be fine if neither of us ever found out? Are you out of your mind? Holly and I aren't just some dolls that you can play house with. I'm not gonna let you use us like this.
So, you're really gonna divorce me?
Of course I am. We're completely disgusted with you, Minnie. We don't want to see you or your boyfriend's faces ever again.
Fine, then I'll take full custody of Holly. You're not her father anyway. I'll take care of her just fine with her real dad.
I'm not letting you or that guy get your filthy hands on Holly. Neither of you have any right to call yourself Holly's parents. I'll take care of her by myself.
But we're her real parents. You can't keep her from us.
Maybe I can't, but Holly can. She says she doesn't want anything to do with you. She says that I'm her only real parent.
What? I don't believe you.
Believe it or not, you're getting your just desserts for what you did to her. You messed up so bad that your daughter, who you've been with for 16 years, doesn't even want to speak to you anymore.
I don't care what she says. I'm her real mom, and I'm taking her to live with her real dad. I won't take no for an answer.
Aren't you forgetting something? She's 16. She can legally choose for herself now. So I'm sorry, but you have no choice but to accept no for an answer. Now get lost and never speak to us again.
But she's our daughter. How can you steal our daughter from us?
I told you, Holly is my daughter. And Holly feels the same way about me. So no, you're not Holly's parents. You can't think of anyone but yourselves, not even your own daughter. You're nothing but a lying, cheating, heartless, soulless scumbag. After that, Minnie and I got officially divorced. With the help of Minnie's parents, I was able to get hard evidence of her affair from her cell phone. I also sued her for infidelity. As for child support, since Holly's already 16 and she's refusing to see Minnie or her boyfriend, I decided not to demand it. I also sued Holly's biological father for his part in the affair. The jury considered the fact that he knowingly slept with a married woman, got her pregnant, and continued the relationship for almost 2 decades, and awarded me a colossal amount in damages. As a result, both Minnie and her boyfriend are in pretty dire financial straits. Neither of them have much in terms of employable skills, so I'm sure they'll be struggling for practically the rest of their lives because of this. Good. Serves them both right. Through all of this, Holly decided to stick with me of her own free will. We're currently living a nice and quiet lifestyle with just the two of us. Honestly, for a little while we were a bit unsure about how to continue our relationship, now that we know we're not actually biologically related. But in the end, that gives us a bond that goes much, much deeper than just simple genetics. So what we're not blood related? She still knows who her real father is. And I'm more committed than ever to be the best father that I can possibly be, and one that Holly can be truly proud of.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey, Izzy. What the heck was going on with today's lunchbox? You didn't give me enough snacks, and it was pretty damn lackluster on the whole. I bet there are starving kids in third world countries who get better lunchboxes than the sorry excuse you gave me.
I'm sorry, Krieg. I could barely afford to keep up with the food expenses this month.
And whose job is it to do something about that? Yours, woman. You better make me a good supper, or there'll be hell to pay.
In that case, won't you let me have some more money to cover our living costs? I'm barely scraping by as it is. If you do, I'll be able to make you nicer lunchboxes and suppers.
What? I already gave you $700 a month. How are you struggling to do your job on that?
But my share of the rent is $400. After paying that, I only have $300 left. Not to mention, I still have to cover the utilities. If I'm lucky, I have maybe $100 left for food at the end of everything.
You're gonna make me repeat myself. You're a stay-at-home housewife, Izzy. Making a little go a long way is your goddamn job. Why can't you just do your job without all this goddamn whiny complaining, like all the other good wives of the world?
I'm not kidding, Craig. I'm barely coping here. You were giving me more than enough money for our living costs before, but now you give me less every month.
We're still getting by, ain't we? I don't see the problem.
Barely by a thread. If you had any idea how much I'm struggling to put food on the table for you, you wouldn't be talking like this.
Life is struggle, babe. Quit looking for an easy ride. The bottom line is that we are getting by.
Sure we are, but naturally, I'm gonna have to make sacrifices on food if I don't have any money. You can hardly complain at me that the quality of your lunchboxes is going down. Craig, would it really be the worst thing if I got a part-time job? I feel like it could solve all our problems. Things would be so much easier at home if I had a little extra money coming in every month. I don't even have to do that many hours. Even something like 5 to 10 a week would make a huge difference.
Not happening. Are you forgetting that we live out in the middle of bumfrick nowhere? If you get a part-time job in a place this rural, the entire village will be making fun of us before you know it. Grandma from next door will be poking fun at me, 'cause she thinks my salary's low. My reputation around here will be in the heckin' dumps. If you get a part-time job, no, it ain't happening.
Seriously? No one would poke fun at you for me getting a part-time job, Craig. Everyone knows how tough things are financially these days. No one in the village would care.
Well, I would, Izzy. I'd care.
Listen, I saw they had recruitment posters up at the local supermarket the other day. Would it be okay if I tried applying? I think I'd be in a good shot, like you said. We're hardly in a big city, so chances like this don't come around every day. I really think I should take advantage of the opportunity.
Can you read? I said no. It ain't happening, and that's the end of it. You can't seriously think anything good could come from a woman having access to her own money.
What?
You'd only get carried away and blow it all on frivolous crap. Get so wrapped up in going out and having fun that you'd neglect the housework and things would fall apart at home. That's what women are like. I've seen it.
Surely that depends on the person. I'm not like that at all.
I'm not giving you permission to get a part-time job, so you may as well just drop it. I mean it, Izzy. Before I lose my rag. Big time. If you got too much free time on your hands, try making a vegetable patch in the garden or something. That way you could save on food costs too. Man, I am clever sometimes. We're renting a place with a yard, so why not make use of all that space?
But it costs money to start up a vegetable garden.
You have the time. Why not try using your damn head for once? I'm sure you'll make it work if you stop complaining and actually try.
Use my head? That has its limits.
Whatever. Just put up with it and quit your whining. I'm sick of this already. I'll give you some more money when my salary goes up.
It's not like you don't earn enough already, is it? Why do we need to wait? What exactly have you been spending your money on lately?
Having a social life can be expensive.
But you were giving me plenty before. Why can't I help but feel like something strange is going on here?
Sorry, sweet cheeks. My boss is calling. See ya.
Craig, wait! Don't run away from me. We'll be discussing this again when you get home. Craig, I found some receipts while I was cleaning the house today. What was that? What's going on with you?
Huh? Receipts? What do you mean?
Receipts from big shopping sprees and hotel stays.
Oh, those? They're from the business trip I went on recently.
Business trip? But why would the receipts be lying around at home? This doesn't add up. Surely you should have taken them into work so you could claim it all back on company expenses.
Jeez, Izzy. What the heck is with you? I just forgot is all.
But they were all crumpled up between the sofa cushions.
Yeah, they must have fallen out of my pocket. I would have found them eventually.
So what about these shopping receipts? Why would you need to be buying expensive Peeps Lauren bags while out on a company trip? And ladies' accessories? What the hell is going on here?
They were for work, too. Look at the date. It's from when I was on my business trip, right? I hardly ever get to go to the big cities, so I figured I should make the most of it. Accessories were a leaving present for one of my coworkers who handed in her resignation last week. That's all. Of course, everyone chipped in to pay.
I see.
God damn it, Izzy, you're so cringe, it's unreal. What kind of nutjob goes out of their way to read crumpled receipts?
Hey, don't call me that. I just wanted to know if I should throw them away. And surely I was right too. You just said yourself you forgot to take them into work.
Yeah, I guess. You don't have to try and investigate everything like some kind of frickin' detective. It's like you think you're in some kind of movie. You wear me out.
Because you're being wasteful with money when I can barely afford to feed us.
Wasteful with money?
You didn't just buy a new bag, you bought a bunch of new clothes too.
Yeah, because I needed them. For work.
Craig, please. We need to start saving properly. This isn't fair when I can barely afford to feed us. If you have the money for luxurious things like that, you could at least send a little more my way to keep the household running.
Like I said, the clothes and bag were for work.
Even still, why did you have to buy the most expensive brands? You could have gotten this stuff for 1/10 of the price if you wanted to. Why spend hundreds of dollars on a bag?
You're a woman, and a stay-at-home housewife, with no life experience, you wouldn't understand. But everyone with a brain knows that real men are expensive brands. A luxury Peeps Lauren suit is what separates the pros from the amateurs. You can't walk around the office in cheap junk and expect to do a good job, or for people to respect you.
All I'm saying is we shouldn't be buying all those things we can't afford.
Don't worry, babe. We can afford it. Trust me. It all falls well within the scope of my salary.
Wait, so you're saying I'm the only one who has to tighten my belt financially?
Well, duh. You're a stay-at-home housewife. That's your job.
I see. Fine. I understand what you really think of me now.
Make no mistake. You're living on my dime right now. Not for my kindness, you wouldn't have a roof over your head or food on the table in front of you, so you're in no position to complain. You have no right to message me like this when I'm busy at work. Do not bite the hand that feeds you, woman, or it'll be the last thing you do.
What am I supposed to do? You never listen to me when I try talking to you at home.
Fine. I'll hear you out next time, but this conversation is over for now.
Wait, can we discuss your mom for a second before you go?
My mom? What do you mean?
She told me she wants to see you.
Stop this crap, Izzy. I told you I cut her out of my life. Why would you even bug me with this? I was nothing but a walking wallet to her. She leeched off me financially until we got married, and even had me paying off her freaking debts. Me and her are so done.
Won't you at least try talking to her once? She said if you don't talk to her, she's gonna go to my parents' house.
It's fine. Just ignore her.
This is your mother, Craig. This is no empty threat, and the last thing I need is her showing up at my folks' place bugging them. Surely you didn't forget how persistent she is when she sets her mind on something.
Sure, that's why I switched jobs and we moved out here to the middle of nowhere. Whatever you do, just make sure you don't tell her where we live. There's no way she could afford to hire a private investigator, so as long as we don't give anything away, we'll be fine.
Craig, are you serious? You're giving me $50 for us to get by on this month? Is this some kind of sick joke?
My bad, babe. I went a little too crazy on the card last month. It's all I could afford to give you.
What do you expect me to do with $50? We'll never be able to get by on this little.
Chill, it's fine. I see stuff on TV and YouTube about people who get by on $50 all the time.
Yeah, because those people don't have to pay rent. Not only that, but we have the utilities and both our phone contracts to think about too. There's absolutely no way I'm gonna be able to make things work for $50 for an entire month. It's impossible. Are you insane?
Don't say it's impossible to get by on 50. It's your damn job. Surely you still have some savings left from when you were single. Supplement things with that for a little while, and quit your whining. You'll make it work if you try.
Impossible.
Didn't I just tell you not to say that?
Fine. I'll stop sending your parents money.
Huh? You send my parents money? Don't make me laugh. How the heck would a stay-at-home housewife like you be able to afford to send my mom and dad money?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe the savings from back when I was single you just mentioned 5 seconds ago?
Wait, what? Have you actually been sending my parents money?
Your mom and dad know where we live, Craig.
What? Why? I told you not to tell anyone.
Apparently, your mom went into even more depth to investigate it.
Holy mother of God.
6 months ago, she threatened to show up here and cause a huge scene if I didn't start sending her money payments. I knew what crazy lengths she went to extort you before, so I just kept my mouth shut and paid her, afraid of what she might do.
Why didn't you tell me about any of this?
Because she told me she'd come straight away if she found out I did. She told me it would be only for 3 months at first.
Let me guess. It wasn't, was it?
No, but I have no reason to carry on protecting you anymore. I'm going to run out of money completely soon, so this ends here.
No, just wait a sec, Izzy.
I'm not waiting. You've been out spending like you're a member of the global elite, despite the fact that I'm stuck here at home forced to get by on next to nothing, and I'm sick of it. This ends here. I have no reason to carry on protecting someone like you.
But what the hell am I supposed to do if my mom and dad show up? God, escaping from them the first time around was hard enough.
Not my problem. I want a divorce. I'm leaving.
Hey, Izzy. Where are you right now? Won't you please come home, baby? I'll apologize for what I did, I swear.
Didn't you get a call from my lawyer? I'll meet you on the days he's scheduled for a discussion.
No, I don't want to discuss divorce, please.
Whether you want it or not makes no difference because I do.
I mean it, babe. I'll apologize for letting our living allowance get so low if you just come back for a little while. Won't you just think this through again one last time? You're making a major life decision here. Please, you have to help me. My mom and dad showed up at the house out of the blue last week. They let themselves in because I forgot to lock the door, and now they're sat on the sofa refusing to leave.
Yeah, I thought they might do as much, but like I said before, not my problem. My mind is already set on the divorce.
Every day is a living hell for me. They keep dragging me to the casino in the next town, threatening never to leave the house if I don't give them gambling money. They force me to take them out to eat at fancy restaurants. They buy whatever the hell they damn please at the supermarket. I can't take this anymore. They even took some money from my wallet while I wasn't looking. I won't be able to get by anymore if they keep this up much longer.
Why not try tightening your belt and being a little more economical then?
This isn't the kind of thing that improves by being a little more economical. They're already trying to force me to go into debt to cover their insane spending, because most of the loan companies won't even speak to them anymore. This is out of control.
This is rich coming from you. The fact you have the nerve to complain about this after giving me $50 to run a household on for an entire month tells me everything I need to know about who you really are.
Yeah, about that. Listen, babe. I'm sorry. I just had so much faith in you. I thought you'd make it work somehow. You're so clever, babe, I figured you'd be able to pull some sort of trick out of your sleeve.
You forced me to get by on peanuts, and now you expect me to help you in your time of need? What the hell is wrong with you?
I'm so sorry.
I don't need your apologies. All I need from you is a divorce and compensation.
Huh? Wait, what? Compensation? Compensation?
For the affair.
Affair? What are you talking about?
Do you seriously think I don't know? Did you think I wouldn't find it suspicious when you suddenly started spending like a guy on twice your salary and reducing the money you were giving me for the household? Not only that, but you sure did start taking good care of your appearance, huh? Not to mention, constantly being cold and disrespectful towards me.
I don't remember being cold towards you at all. Do you have any proof for these wild claims? An affair? Give me a break.
Do you really think I'd be making them up if I didn't? I've been digging around ever since I noticed you were acting weird. Your business trip to Seattle recently, that was actually a lover's vacation, wasn't it? I know everything, Craig. I have plenty of photos of you guys going around in the car together too. So how about you stop wasting both of our time and come clean?
Oh man, Izzy, I'm so sorry. I was never serious about her. You have to believe me. She was just kind of my way of taking a breather. Yeah, that's it.
Your way of taking a breather is having an affair? Incredible. The idea that you cheat on me as a relaxation method somehow makes me feel even worse.
Come on, babe, please. I told you. I wasn't serious about her. Not even for 1 second. It was just a meaningless bit of fun.
Whether you were serious about her or not, cheating is cheating.
Izzy, please, you've got no idea how happy I've been since me and you got married. You're the light of my life. I owe you so much. Finally being able to escape from my toxic parents and achieve the happiness of being with a loving wife. I owe it all to you, baby. You're my rock. You've been there to support me this whole time. I'd be lost without you.
Is this going somewhere?
Please don't divorce me. I'll break up with her. I swear on my life, it's already decided. We'll never see each other again. I promise you this is the end of things between us.
Why would you go and break up with your lover? Me and you are definitely getting a divorce and there's nothing you can do to change that. So why end things with her too? You wouldn't want to be completely alone, would you?
What? Why? How can you do this to me when I love you so much? Why won't you understand me?
Excuse me? You reduced my living cost allowance to the level of a teenager's pocket money? If that wasn't bad enough, you gave me crap for having to economize on your lunchbox ingredients as a result of your tight waiting, all while having it away with some floozy behind my back. Is that your idea of love? You're crazy. I'd have to be the world's biggest moron to stay married to a low-life sack of cow dung like you.
Please, baby, like I said, I'll never do anything like this again.
I simply don't believe you. I worked so hard for you, Craig, but I know it was all meaningless now. You're more than happy to insult your mom and dad, but what you did to me is no better than the way they treat you. I guess it really is like they say, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Don't lump me in with those guys. They think they're fully within their rights to steal everything I own just because I'm their son.
You mean like you thought you were fully within your rights to treat me however you wanted because I'm your wife? You're just as bad as them. You thought you could force me to do anything, didn't you? This is your job as my wife. This is your job as a stay-at-home housewife. Blah, blah, blah. I was left to eat nothing but leftovers every day while you lived up large with Lover Girl? I haven't eaten properly in months.
I really am sorry about that.
Even the paltry amount of savings I had left over from before we met. I couldn't even keep that because I ended up letting your deranged mother blackmail me. Why do you think I did that, Craig? To protect you. But I know what a fool I've been now. I'll never let you betray me like this again.
I won't, I swear. I'll do whatever you say from now on. No questions asked.
All right, so agree to divorce then. And pay me every last cent of the compensation I ask for if you genuinely are sorry. That shouldn't be too hard, should it?
But I don't want to divorce. How am I supposed to get by without you by my side? Did you forget that my mom and dad are here?
So you need me around to help you fix your problems? That's what you're saying, right? You haven't changed one bit. You can't handle them by yourself, so you're trying to use me as your human shield against them?
You just don't get it, Izzy. Please forgive me. I'll deal with my parents. You don't have to worry about them. I'm begging you. I don't even know if I'll be able to afford this month's rent at this rate.
You're going to break up with your lover, aren't you?
Of course I am.
Great. That means you'll have lots more free time then. Why don't you use it to try and come up with a way to dig yourself out of the mess you made? You see stuff on TV and YouTube who get on by $50 a month all the time, right? You can do it, Craig. Just tighten your belt and start economizing. Why don't ya? Craig, being as stubborn and petulant as ever, wouldn't agree to the divorce, so I was forced to take him to divorce court to have it arbitrated on. Naturally, having mountains of evidence on him cheating on me, he didn't have a leg to stand on. It took some time, but 6 months after the events of today's saga, the divorce officially went through and I became a free woman. I got a one-off compensation payment from his lover at the time of the divorce, and even today, I still get monthly installments from Craig. I wasn't so keen on the idea of installments because I wanted to erase him from my memory, but he really didn't have any money, so I had no choice but to compromise. Thankfully, he signed under the condition that if he ever missed a payment, his assets would be seized and sold to make sure I get my money. To add insult to injury, the fact that his lover was one of his co-workers meant that rumors of his scumbaggery spread like wildfire around the workplace after the divorce. For my husband, who cares clearly what others think of him, it must be a pretty hard environment to work in. Sadly for him, if he doesn't work, he'll no longer be able to provide for his deranged parents or keep on top of my compensation payments, which means there's no way he can afford to quit. His parents are up to their ears in debt due to their absurdly wasteful spending and gambling habits, so something tells me they'll continue to exploit him from here on out. That said, I don't have even an ounce of sympathy for him. He only has himself to blame for his desperate situation, and I hope the pain of regret torments his every last waking moment. Maybe he can use it to reflect on his behavior and become a better person. As for me, I spent some much-needed recuperation time at my parents' place before finding myself a job. Thinking back on it now, I know my ex-husband never deserved my love or support, but at the time, my feelings I still had for him were clouding my judgment, and I didn't have the courage needed to divorce him when I should have. But now I feel nothing but gratitude for the fact that he's no longer in my life. No matter how much you love someone, it's always possible for them to change. It's still pretty painful for me to remember that period of my life, but I'm gonna look to the future and let time work its magic in healing my wounds. It's time for me to find the happiness I know I deserve.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey Francine, how's Tessa doing today? You did go and visit her, right?
Hey, Frank, it's good to hear from you. Tessa was doing totally fine when I was there with her. She's much better after starting on the new medicine regimen the doctors told us about.
Totally fine? What's that supposed to mean? How can she be totally fine in this situation?
No, well, all I mean is that she hasn't gotten any worse. Obviously, her health isn't totally fine, but she is undergoing cancer treatment, so you can hardly expect otherwise. Yeah, I know they're trying to save her life, but chemotherapy really is awful. It's tearing me up to have to see her like this every day. The new medicine they put her on made all of her hair fall out.
Wow, is she upset about it?
Of course she is. She's still in elementary school. And she's a girl. There's no denying it. She was pretty damn shocked and broken up about the whole thing. It's only natural she would be, right? It would be bad enough for an adult who properly understood everything.
She doesn't seem any worse, you say? She didn't seem to be particularly unwell or anything. We should be grateful just for that. We have to take all the victories we can get, no matter how small.
I guess, but to be honest with you, I'd be lying if I said it wasn't painful for me to look at her in that state. Her pillow was covered in hair that had fallen out. She's putting on a brave face and pretending she doesn't care, but I'm her mom, and I can tell she's hurting inside. Couldn't take seeing my little princess like that. I had to get out of there, Frank. I left the ward.
You did what? You knew this would happen, damn it. The doctors told us her hair would start falling out after the chemo started. It's never going to be a pleasant thing to see, but how could you not have been prepared? It's only natural she'd be shocked after losing her hair. What the hell do you think seeing her parents freak out is going to do to her mental state? She's already vulnerable as it is. She needs us now more than ever. And you left her there?
I know that. But it's going to keep falling out, and quickly, too. Before we know it, she won't have any hair left. I can't bear to see her like that. It was horrible.
No, of course it's horrible. Don't get me wrong, babe. I totally understand how you feel. But we can't bury our heads in the sand. This is happening, Francine, whether we like it or not. If it's this bad for us, what the hell do you think it's like being Tessa right now?
I understand what you're saying, Frank. Ugh. Oh my God, Frank, how long are we going to have to carry on like this? What did she do to deserve this? Why does our poor daughter have to suffer so senselessly?
Believe me, I'd love to know the answer to those questions myself.
I'm sorry. I never expected myself to get this upset. I think I'm losing my mind. If I start taking things out on you, everything will be totally hopeless.
You're exhausted from being with Tess all the time, right? It must take a lot of mental stress to keep yourself composed, seeing her that way. I haven't been able to get to the hospital due to my crazy work schedule, and believe me, I feel pretty crappy about that. It's fine, Francine. It's not a big deal. Really. Don't worry about me.
I'm sorry.
I said don't worry about me. Tessa is more important than me right now.
Right. I wonder if she'll really be okay. I'm relieved she didn't seem any worse physically, aside from the shock of losing her hair, what with starting chemo and all. But it was so awful seeing her all broken up like that.
You headed over to visit her with your mum and dad this weekend, right? I'll join you guys then. Let me try speaking to her. Let's see if her pops can't cheer her up a little.
Right. But you know she hasn't shown much improvement at all since being admitted to the hospital. Don't say anything reckless that might freak her out or my mom out, okay?
Of course I won't. But keep an eye on her for me until then, alright? It's bound to be difficult, but we need to be strong for our daughter's sake. She needs us now more than ever.
Frank, why would you even say something like that? Didn't I tell you not to say anything reckless? My mom and dad are furious. I can't believe you said that to Tessa at all, let alone in front of my parents.
Oh, that's funny, because from where I'm standing, none of what you're doing makes any sense. That's why I said it. I was wondering whether you'd make an absurd overreaction, and lo and behold, you are.
What? This isn't the time to screw around, Frank. Start making sense. Thankfully, Tessa seemed to find your stupid little remark funny, so at least she's not upset, but what kind of twisted sicko calls their daughter a baldy while she's on chemotherapy? I can't believe you.
Come on, Francine. I didn't put it that bluntly, did I? I worded it more kindly than that, and you know it.
But why would you need to say that in the first place? Looks like you went bald, sweetie. Oh well. And to think you laughed, too. You're sick. Who says, oh well, to their freshly bald, cancer-stricken 6-year-old? Do you understand how much your foolish little remark just hurt our poor daughter? That poor girl, she is fighting cancer, and the last thing she needs is her own dad insulting her.
Poor girl. Give me a break. The only thing upsetting our daughter is your attitude. Is that the way you treat her every time you visit? If I'd have known, I'd have said something earlier. God damn, my boss keeping me at the office does this all the time.
My attitude? What the hell does that mean? All we did was visit her. I don't need to be lectured on how to behave around my own daughter by the prick who just insulted her while she lay in a hospital bed.
You couldn't be more tragically mistaken. Or endlessly piling sympathy on her like she has hours left to live is what you guys call a visit. If that's the case, you and her parents need to stop visiting her immediately. All you're doing is hurting her by constantly reminding her about what she's going through and how unfortunate she is.
You have no right to say that. Do you have any idea how hard it was for me to calm my parents down after you left the room? They even told me to divorce you.
Let them say what they like. I don't care. Let me make this clear. You guys are the ones treating her like a pitiful, helpless victim.
What's that supposed to mean?
The way you're all huddled around her, wailing, oh, you poor, poor thing. Well, it almost made me want to vomit. I felt like I was at a funeral. Good luck, sweetie. I mean, really. Randomly interjecting crap like, I know all your hair might have fallen out, but you don't need to worry about that one bit, into conversations about her favourite cartoons. You're supposed to be making her feel better, not worse. Stop screwing around with our daughter's emotions, Francine.
Pfft, all we're trying to do is stop her being upset. Ugh, what's the point in trying to explain? An insensitive prick like you would never get it.
Insensitive? That's rich coming from you. Are you completely oblivious to how much constantly reminding her she has cancer is hurting her? Why does she need you to bring up the fact she has no hair left every 5 minutes? You treat her like she's in a freaking casket already. It hurts to watch. You treat her like a hopeless victim. You act like you're already at her funeral. All you're doing is upsetting her.
What are you suggesting I should say then? You've got some nerve to come at me with this crap despite you being the one who made mean comments about her hair.
Mean comments? Please, did she even seem remotely upset by what I said? If anything, that's the biggest smile I've seen on her face in weeks. Do you have no idea what that means?
This is pointless. I can't take it anymore. We may as well be banging our heads against a brick wall. I'll be staying at my folks' place tonight. I won't be coming home for a while.
Do as you please. I don't want to see your face anyway.
Pops, did you and Mom have a fight?
Hey, Tessa. What's up? What makes you think that?
Well, Mom came to see me today, but she seemed way more down than usual. She looked really angry when I smiled at what you said yesterday.
Ah, I see. I'm sorry, sweetie. Making you worry about me and your mum like this.
It's fine, Pops. You don't have to apologize. But was it bad of me to smile?
No, you didn't do anything wrong at all. Me and your mum just had a little difference of opinion. That's all. We were talking about you.
About me?
Yeah, about you. You know how much we both love you, right?
Yeah, I know that. But, well, why were you fighting then?
How to put it? You see, it's like this, sweetie. Since me and your mum both love and care about you so much, there are things that we feel so strongly about that we simply can't budge on them.
Huh? This is difficult. I don't understand.
Ah, right, of course. Let me ask you this, Tess. Do you like your mum?
Yeah, I love her.
Right? Well, I love her too. But how would you feel if your mummy, who you did love, did something bad to your pops?
I'd get mad and tell her to stop, because I love my Pops too. I want all three of us to be friends and get along.
Well, that's how things are between me and your mum right now. We still haven't made friends yet. Which is why I want you to know you're not in the wrong here.
When will you make friends? Right away?
It'd be nice if we could make up right away. But to tell you the truth, I don't know myself either.
Hey, Pops, you know when you said I was bald and laughed? I was happy.
Oh, where did that come from all of a sudden?
Ever since I got sick, Mom and the others have been making me feel so sad all the time. They act like I'm gonna die. I'm not helpless and I'm not gonna die.
That's right, Tessa. You're not. You must hate being treated like that when you're working so hard to get better.
You're the only one who doesn't treat me like some pathetic victim, Pops. That's why I'm super happy you're my Pops.
That's right, sweetie. You're no victim. I just wish everyone else understood that.
Sorry to bother you, Frank. Do you have time to talk right now?
What's up? Is this about yesterday?
Yeah, it's about yesterday. I thought maybe we could try talking things over again.
Look, about that, I said too much myself. I was wrong. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have anything to apologize for, honey. We were the ones in the wrong after all, right?
What? Are you feeling okay? Am I hallucinating? You were furious with me yesterday.
This evening, I got a call from Tessa. She told me why you got so mad. I think I more or less understand it now.
From Tessa? Wait, she called you about that? Really? I see.
She said us fighting was really hard on her. She pretty much ordered us to make up as soon as possible. That's not all. She burst into tears. What the hell are we playing at, Frank?
You're right. Us fighting over what's best for our daughter doesn't really make any sense if us fighting makes our daughter cry now, does it?
Right. That's why I'm sorry. I never stopped to think about why you were angry in the first place. I just reacted.
No, it was wrong of me not to explain too. I kind of just assumed you'd get why I was mad and let the anger take care of the rest. I haven't had my head on straight lately, what with everything that's going on. I guess you could say I'm quick to anger. You're well within your rights to be mad.
Cut it out, Frank. That's my line. I was so intent on things being the way I thought they should be, I never stopped to think about what Tessa herself thought about the way I was treating her, or how she felt about her current situation. I just decided what was best for her by myself based on nothing but assumptions. I realized I clearly wasn't doing her any favors the moment she burst into tears.
Go easy on yourself, babe. It's not like I'm saying everything you did was wrong. It's just that Tessa's fighting this thing with every last fibre of her being. She's like a little super soldier. And the thought of her bravery being reduced to nothing or minimised by being treated like a helpless victim was tearing me up inside.
Yeah, you're right. I see that now. I was closest to her, and I should have known more than anyone how hard she was fighting, but in spite of that, I didn't. How did I not notice, Frank? God, I've been such an idiot!
We both had our hands full, Francine. Don't talk about yourself that way. please. It hurts me to see. Things haven't been easy lately, alright? It's only natural we might act a little crazy sometimes under all this stress. She got hospitalised out of nowhere after all. One day she was going to school like usual, and the next she was in a hospital bed on an IV drip being told she had to undergo aggressive life-changing therapy. All I could ask myself was why her? I think obsessing over that so much made it hard for me to see things straight.
You know our Tessa. She told me she enjoys every single day, even now. Can you believe that? Things should be harder for her than anyone, and yet somehow she's stronger than the both of us put together.
She said she was super happy about everyone visiting her together, you know. Me, you, and your parents. And that's not all of it. This one's really going to shock you. She even said she actually enjoys studying. Apparently she works on her textbooks and printouts from school every day in the hospital ward.
She told me all about how when she gets out of hospital she wants to try out a bunch of new things at school. Volleyball club, piano lessons, fencing. I could barely keep up as she listed off all her new goals. She said she gets excited just thinking about it. I had no idea she had all these plans for the future. No, it's not that I didn't know. Maybe I just didn't try to find out.
It's just like I said, right? I wasn't seeing things straight, and neither were you. There's no need to go beating yourself up over it. Me and you have been through a lifetime's worth of stress in the last few weeks.
Seeing her after she lost all of her hair like that for the first time, it terrified me so much that I ran out of her room in a panic.
Yeah, I know, babe. I know you did.
She told me she wished I didn't do that. You just laughed it off like it was nothing when you saw her without her hair for the first time, right? She told me what you said. Who needs hair anyway? Hair is for chumps. She said your cheerful spirit made her so happy. She said she wished I treated her more like you did. I was totally blind to what she really needed from me. I really am a failure as a mom.
That's not true, Francine. Don't say things like that.
How is it not true? I know you just said we weren't seeing things straight, but even in spite of that, even in spite of all the stress, all the pain, all the heartache, and all the worry, you still managed to understand how she was feeling and what she wanted. But me? Nope. I failed her. I'm not fit to be a mother.
If you're not fit to be a mother, why'd you get so mad at me?
Because I was making nothing but hasty, superficial judgments. I only reacted to what you were saying instead of why you were saying it. In the end, I was only thinking about myself. I was so obsessed with the idea of being the perfect doting mother that I didn't stop to take the time to consider what our daughter was actually feeling. No, I was downright incapable of it.
So why all the self-reflection and apologies now? If you're really incapable of thinking about what's best for Tessa, what's the point in beating yourself up with regret over what you did? Surely it couldn't be helped given the circumstance.
Stop it, Frank. You know, don't you? You know I can't be the mother our daughter deserves. Stop trying to make me feel better. It just makes me feel more pathetic.
Yeah, doesn't feel great, does it? I'm glad you understand now. Look, tell me, Francine, why do you think Tessa was so beside herself with shock when her hair fell out?
Because she's a girl, surely. But then, no, wait. I guess it must have been pretty damn shocking to see me, her own mom, dart out of the hospital room like a bolt of lightning when I saw how different she looked. It was wrong of me to do that, wasn't it?
She said she was upset because she couldn't have the same hairstyle as her mum anymore. It was a shock to her. It made her feel down.
Wait, what?
She was shocked because she loves you, Francine. She loved having the same hairstyle as you. She was sad and down in the dumps because she couldn't anymore after losing her hair. Do you really think someone who says things like that could possibly hate you?
Wow, she said that? Our Tessa said that?
Yeah, sure she did. I just said so, right? That she said that even when she felt sick, she was happy as long as you were there by her bedside to hold her hand. She was so grateful for how you made sure you were always there for her all the time, day in, day out, no matter what.
But I was only there by her bedside. It's not like I really even did anything. I didn't even notice how she was feeling, damn it!
Even just being by her side at such a difficult time is an amazing thing in and of itself, Francine. No matter how bad her symptoms got, no matter how much you wanted to bolt out of that door and never look back, you didn't. And you stayed by her side the whole time. Only a mother's capable of that.
But is this really what's best for her? Someone like me being her mom?
Who else is there aside from you? Let me make something clear. If you talk like this around our girl, she'll burst into tears on you again. She hates the thought of her mum not being around.
Right. Frank, thank you. I am Tessa's mother.
Of course you are. And we're both going to carry on being there for her, forever and ever. We're going to be there for her so much, she'll get freaking bored of us. Because the three of us are a family. Me, you, and Tessa. After that, me and Francine successfully kissed and made up, just like our amazing daughter wanted. For Francine, the realisation that she'd been blind to how our daughter was feeling for a while tore her up with regret. But once she noticed just how much Tessa loves her, she became more positive and optimistic about the future. If anything, now her and Tessa talk and have fun together more than ever before. They get along so well that anyone would think they were best friends, rather than mum and daughter. What's more, Francine's mum and dad came over to apologise to me after they realised what I really meant by what I said that day. But just like me and Francine, they were so stressed out by everything that was going on that they reacted emotionally, instead of stopping to think what I actually meant. Now there's nothing but good vibes between me and the in-laws. Not many people can say that, right? After the events of today's story, me, Francine and Tessa carried on fighting the cancer together for another 2 years. Our strengths as a family must be paying off because her symptoms are finally starting to subside. She finally just got the go-ahead to return to school on the condition that she takes it easy and sits out a gym class for a while. Needless to say, our house is filled with nothing but smiles these days because things are finally starting to look up. There's hope on the horizon and I am loving it. Don't get me wrong, she's not out of the woods yet and there's still a small chance her symptoms could return. But one thing's for sure. Me and her mum are working hard to give her everything she needs, and I'm praying with everything I've got for that smile never to disappear from her face.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Hey there, Hillary. How are you? When are you going to show me the footage from your wedding? Haven't you gotten back some of the photos and videos from there yet? Come on, I really want to see how things are going. Sorry, you want to see the wedding? I don't really understand. Well, I just mean that your wedding is a special day and I'd love to see the photos that you had taken there is all. There must be so many happy memories already, right? I'm sorry, but I think that you were the only one having fun. I mean, I really kind of wanted to know just what you were thinking. What do you mean? Did I do something wrong? I promise that I really have no idea at all about what you could be talking about. Are you telling me that I might have done something to spoil the mood of your wedding or something? You know what you did, Gretchen. You showed up to my wedding dressed up like you were ready to go to a funeral. You scared my grandma so much she actually fainted when she saw you. Oh, well, I really am so sorry for the mix-up. It's just that those clothes were the only dress clothes that I owned. I really don't think that's true. I think that you did that on purpose, but I don't get why. I think you might have done it just because you wanted to try and ruin my wedding. Oh, you mean it really was that obvious for you to figure out? Well, it really didn't take all that much to understand, thank you very much. And just what's wrong with me showing up to your wedding in funeral garb anyways, huh? Your wedding was so depressing, it might as well have been a funeral. But why would you do this to me? Do you really have such huge problems with me that you have to do this? I already told you that I don't approve of you marrying my son. You know exactly how I feel about you. My son deserves a much better, prettier, smarter woman in his life, not some selfish little brat like you. You aren't nearly good enough for him. Well, I'm sorry, but Robert chose me because he loves me. I don't think that you get to decide who's right for him. There you go again, talking back to me and forgetting your place. You really are a spoiled brat. Do you know that? Are you really saying that when you were the one who tried to ruin my wedding all because you have a problem with me? Because it wasn't just my family that you shocked, even your own relatives were appalled at your behavior. What? You mean that they didn't think that it was as hilarious as I did? No, I don't think a single person at my wedding thought that what you did was funny at all, actually. Well, it doesn't really matter, but what does matter is that I'm your mother-in-law and you need to listen to me. My first order for you is to break up with my son and stay away from him forever. I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen. There isn't anything in the world that could break Robert and I apart. I see. Well, if this is the way that you want to do things, then I suppose you leave me with no choice. What are you talking about? What horrible plot do you have up your sleeve next, huh? Oh, nothing yet. But I'll just have to come up with something even more shocking and horrible. Something so incredible that it'll force you to run away and never come back. If you don't want to tell me what the problem it is that you have with me, that's fine. But just stay out of my relationship with my husband. You know, this is why I say that women just shouldn't go to college. You get one little degree and all of a sudden you think you know better than everyone else. Women like you get so prideful and then refuse to take no for an answer, even when it's their elders telling them. And that's the excuse you have for why you tried to sabotage my wedding with that little stunt that you pulled? Well, if no one else had as much fun as I did, that's their fault, not mine. I really just don't even know what to say to that. I mean, do you really not care that you were the only one laughing at my wedding? That's not true. There's a group photo that we had taken where everyone is smiling, don't you remember? I told you that there would be lots of photos to remember your special day. Oh, trust me, I won't ever forget this. Hey there, Hillary. Are you there? Do you have a moment to chat really quickly? I just wanted to make sure that you knew that next month was my birthday. Oh, really? I had no idea about that. Are you serious? Is that supposed to be some kind of a joke? Are you really telling me that you didn't even know your own mother-in-law's birthday? Well, I suppose I just never really even bothered to ask about when it was, so... I mean, do you have any idea when my birthday is? Of course I don't know when your birthday is. Why would I waste the precious space in my head with something like that? I don't care at all when you were born, and it doesn't matter to me in the slightest. But the fact is that I'm your mother-in-law, and you really ought to know this sort of thing about me. I see. Well, okay then. Thanks for letting me know that, I suppose. You really are such a useless daughter-in-law. Do you know that? I mean, you really should have gone and looked this up yourself. I shouldn't be the one having to tell you all of this. I really am sorry for the confusion. I promise that I won't let it happen again, Gretchen. Is there anything that you would like to do for your birthday? Any plans that I can put into motion for you? Actually, yes. I have a whole list of things that I would like you to get ready for me, if you must know. And since it's my birthday, you should know that if even one little thing goes wrong, I'm going to blame it all on you for ruining my special day. I'll be sure to bear that in mind. Thank you for the warning. Do you mind if I ask who you were thinking of inviting to this? Well, I want to have my party on a Sunday, and you're to invite all of my relatives here. We're going to have enough food for everyone, plus a giant cake, so make sure that you have all that ready beforehand. I'm sorry, are you telling me that I'm going to have to put all of this together myself? Well, of course you are, unless you have a problem with that. If you really hate the idea of celebrating your mother-in-law's birthday that much, you can just say so. It's not that at all. I'll be sure to get everything ready in advance of the party. That's all that you should have said from the very start. Honestly, when are you going to learn? Again, I'm so sorry for not knowing better. May I ask what kind of food you wanted to have ready for the party? I was thinking of really going all out with the food. I want huge fillets of fish, premium cuts of steak, a cake from the nicest bakery in town, and anything else amazing that you can think of. Not only that, but I want to drive to all the farms in the state and figure out which have the best berries so that we can all eat those with imported gelato. Gretchen, this sounds like it's going to be a very expensive party. If you really want all that food and enough for everybody, you're going to need hundreds of dollars. Oh yes, I have the budget, and it's sitting just comfortably under $1,000, actually. But anyways, it's fine, because you're going to buy it all for me. Hold on a second. You're telling me that I'm going to have to be paying for all of this? Well, of course you are. After all, it's my birthday. You don't really expect the birthday girl to pay for her own party, do you? I'm sorry, but even if I could afford to, I really don't see how all of this is going to be less than $1,000 now that I'm adding it all up. How about you just think of it as a present for me? Does that make you feel better about it? Also, speaking of presents, make sure to go out and get me a really nice purse, too. You want me to buy you a purse on top of all of this? And just what kind of purse were you hoping to get? Well, I'm not going to accept anything less than $5,000. Do you understand me? So you want me to spend another $5,000 on you on top of all the party preparations? I really don't think that I'm going to be able to do that. I think I'll only be able to pitch in to buy the food for you. Oh, please, I know that you work for a really big company. Surely you must get paid quite nicely as well, right? I don't see why you would have any issue with spending $10,000 on a party for me. Well, I'm sorry that you don't see any problem with it, but I'm telling you that I have some major ones. What, you mean like being a no-good cheapskate? Are you really trying to ruin my birthday party so far in advance of when it is? I'm not trying to ruin anything for you at all, and I don't think that's a fair statement. I'm just saying that I won't be able to spend that much of my own money on your party. We're still recovering from the wedding and the move. I just can't afford another huge purchase like those right now. Oh, why don't you just come out and tell me the truth, huh? Why don't you just say that you don't want to do this for me because you hate me? Just admit that you're a cheap woman who hates her mother-in-law and would do anything to see her unhappy. You are really not being fair to me at all. But if you want me to help, then we are going to have to downsize your budget. And that includes settling for a cheaper purse as a present, okay? No, that isn't fair. If it's not a $5,000 purse, then I don't even want to have to look at it. If you keep trying to shoot me down like this, then I'm going to force you to break up with my son. You can't really think that you'd be able to break up Robert and I, right? You think I can't? I'll do whatever I needed to do to make sure that you two break up and never get back together. Unless you listen to me and do exactly as I say, that is. So why don't you go be a good daughter-in-law and just tell me what I want to hear? You really want to have that huge of a party then, do you? Well, okay then, it seems like you're really leaving me with no choice. But if we're going to do this, let's just have the party at someone's house, okay? Are you kidding me? You really are just trying to cut all the corners you can, aren't you? I don't want to have the party at someone's house. I want to go out to an amazing restaurant or rent out a ballroom. I am telling you that that is just not going to be feasible with how much money you're already wanting to spend on this. Can we please just have the party at your house? I know that you have plenty of room to host the crowd that you're hoping to have. Well then, fine. If you're saying that is what I have to do to have the rest of the party go smoothly, then I guess I can let this happen. But you should know that you're going to be in charge of cleaning everything up once it's all over. Got it? It's my party and I shouldn't be expected to have to do even an ounce of work for it. Oh, of course not. I would hate for you to get your hands dirty with your own party. You won't have to do a single thing. Perfect! Oh, I really just can't wait. This is going to be the best birthday party ever! Gretchen, can I ask why you thought it was appropriate to kick me out of your house? I went through all the trouble of getting everything ready for your party just as you asked me to. The least you could do is let me come back inside and enjoy it with everyone who's there. Are you crazy? You really think that I'm just going to let you into my house? This is my birthday party and you had the gall to show up dressed for a funeral. What is the matter with you, huh? I don't understand. Is there something weird about wearing funeral clothing to your birthday party? Of course there's something weird about it. This is a happy occasion. You should be wearing bright colors, not trying to bring the whole mood down. Well, I'm terribly sorry, but this was the only nice outfit that I could find when I got dressed this morning. I brought it over from my house to change into after I finished getting the food ready. You mean that you already showed up to my house in a different outfit and you changed into that on purpose? Why didn't you just stick to the clothes you were wearing? You have noticed that I'm not the only one to dress up like this, though, haven't you? I mean, don't you realize that everyone at the party is dressed as if they're going to a funeral?
What in the world are you talking about? You mean that everyone is dressed just like you were?
That's right. All your family is here in the hot, hot weather dressed in all black just to help you celebrate your birthday.
But I don't get it. Why in the world is everyone dressed like that? What are they thinking? What in the world is going on here?
I suppose that everyone else in your family only had one nice outfit to come in, just like me, and just like you, at my wedding. You should be grateful that everyone cared enough to come dressed up for you, though.
Oh, come on, that's just ridiculous. Are you telling me that this is really just to get back at me for the way I was dressed at your wedding?
I'm sure that I have no idea what you're talking about in the slightest.
Give me a break. I know that you must have told everyone to come dressed up like this. Do they even realize this is all just part of a petty revenge plot?
I'd be more worried about what you're going to do with all these people about to show up dressed just like me.
Anyone who dares to show up to my party dressed like they're ready for a funeral is going to be turned away at the door.
Well, then I suppose that means you're going to have a very lonely birthday party. Do you really hate all the black that much? You seemed to be having a blast dressed up like that for my wedding, remember?
But this is my birthday. It's different. Today is supposed to be all about me. Don't you get it?
Of course I do. That's why I invited everyone to come here just like you wanted. And I followed all your instructions about all the expensive food that you wanted me to get ready for your party. There's the fish, steak, fruit, and cake. It's all there just like you asked for.
But I didn't ask for anyone to show up to my birthday party dressed like someone just died. This is supposed to be a day to celebrate me being alive. This is like the exact opposite. It's like everyone is just here to celebrate my dying.
Well, that sounds to me like you have just a bit of an overactive imagination. I don't know if it's really all that bad. I mean, you do realize that everyone is here for your birthday, right? I thought that you'd be more excited to celebrate with everyone.
Just admit it. Admit that this was all a plan that you came up with.
Who's to say, really? Maybe we all just had the same idea and decided to come dressed like this.
I don't believe this. This is just your way of saying that you wish I had never ever been born. You're horrible. How could you try and treat me like this on my own birthday?
I didn't say anything like that in the slightest. Besides, if you weren't born, then I would have never met my husband. So I'm sorry, but I think that you're just projecting your own insecurities over this whole thing.
How am I projecting anything when everyone is literally here dressed up as if someone has died? I just don't get why they would all do this to me.
I suppose your family just knows how to play the long game. After all, no one went up to you and said anything when you showed up to my wedding dressed for a funeral. But it's only because we all knew that we'd have to get back at you another time.
But this isn't fair. How was I supposed to know that what I was doing was wrong if no one told me to begin with? And either way, you still haven't excused yourself from being to blame for this. But I know that if I started crying and talking to people that they'd all go and change for me.
Are you sure about that? I'm sure that there are some people in your family you could scare into doing that, but it certainly wouldn't be because everyone there respects you or anything like that.
I knew that I should have never let my son marry you. It was a mistake ever letting you into my family. I should have kicked you to the curb the second I met you.
Do you really dislike me that much, Gretchen? Am I really that awful to deal with? Because you should have known that I wasn't taking your crap because I'm weak. I just have more patience than you is all.
So you admit it. You finally admit that you were the mastermind behind this whole plot to totally ruin my wedding. You might think that you've done something here, but you haven't done anything. I've known some of these people for over 30 years. No one from my family is ever going to betray me.
Are you sure about that? Because we're all gathered outside here, so why don't you try getting people to change their clothes? I'm sure if you screamed at enough of them, they would go and put on normal clothes to help you celebrate.
Well, maybe that is what I'll do. You give me just 1 second and I'll set this whole thing straight right away.
We're all out here waiting. See you soon. Are you still getting ready to come out and talk to us? You do realize that all the food is outside, right? The only thing missing from the party now is you.
I don't want to go outside, and I don't want to see any one of you ever again.
Aw, what's the matter? I thought that you were getting ready to put us all in our place, no? Because we're still out here dressed in all black for your birthday.
Nobody listened to me. I tried texting people. I even tried dragging people inside to yell at them one by one, but no one was listening to a word that I had to say.
Wow, well, then I guess we really are doing something closer to a funeral than a birthday.
But it isn't a funeral, and it is my birthday. This is ridiculous. How could you all do this to me?
Well, it's only a funeral if the person we're all here to celebrate isn't here. If you came outside, though, it would be much more like a birthday, you know.
You must think that you're just so funny for doing this, don't you? Well, I'm sick of this game. I just want everyone to go home already.
I'm sorry, but you invited us all here for the party, and we're not going to go until it's over. Besides, there's still so much food to be eaten.
And you think I'm going to come outside and help you eat? You think I have anything remotely close to an appetite right now?
But I worked so hard to make sure that all the food that you wanted was here. And everyone is outside having a good time chatting. Someone even brought a boombox and is playing music.
I hate my family for doing this. How could they all stab me in the back like this? Even my son is out there dressed in all black. Why did everyone come dressed up like that?
It's because when you showed up to my wedding dressed for a funeral, you weren't just insulting me. You were insulting your son. And people did try to warn you and ask you to change. You were just too busy gloating to notice.
But you told me that you were plotting this for so long. My whole family was preparing for this behind my back.
Well, you should come outside now because this might be the last time you see some of these people. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a party to get back to. After that, people stopped inviting Gretchen to family gatherings, and nobody missed her at all when she wasn't there. Gretchen tried many ways to try and earn the trust of her family again, but it only ended in remonstrations from them as she tried to sneak into events. In the end, she realized that nobody wanted to deal with her any longer. She stopped trying to talk with anyone and became a recluse, barely leaving her home. The rest of the family was happy to see her go after all the horrible things she had done to others in the past.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.